All right. So again, welcome everybody. I'm going to this brother Kevin. I'm going to go over all the fun stuff with you today. It's going to be an awesome day. We got a lot of people here already. Everybody getting in there right now. Crystal, I see you. Get that out your eye. Get it out of here, Crystal. God bless you. So listen, there's 4 episodes with the grants that I've done so far. I got one more episode coming. Grant episode 1. I need you guys to go to our website, go to our YouTube page. It's There Are People TV on YouTube. And grant episode 1 covered micro grants, $500 to $25,000. And those pay out in 2 weeks, 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Those pay out really, really quick. Then I went to episode 2, was 25,000 to 200,000. Those also pay out relatively quick. As long as you got your perspectives there. Remember, I showed you everything on how to get those. Episode 3 went from 200,000 to $1 million. And then episode 4 went from $1 million to $30 million. And Crystal, yes, you do qualify for those grants. Brother Kevin, I don't know the first thing about it. Well, decide that you want to partner with somebody that does have a general idea. If you guys want to open a habitat in the country, if you want to study water, agriculture, if you want to study the winds, the solar system, when I tell you there's money available for that, food deserts in your community, doing your own food piece, all those things exist. And schools, anything to do with education, anything to deal with empowering youth. If you want a youth alternative facility to keep youth from going to jail, there's millions of dollars available for that right now. And you can also partner with existing people to go ahead and make those things happen. Now, episode 4 that I launched talks about when you start dealing with millions of dollars, shows you how to form a board, whether you want to be a for-profit or not-for-profit. And in addition to the particular grants that people always use, like the .govs, those kinds of things, there's also philanthropists and family foundation grants, and those are named after foundations from people that has all these billions of dollars, and they want to give out money, and they're not as stringent as some of the .govs or the .gov sites, but you still need to register with all of them, and there's no money. You cost you $0 to register. If somebody telling you it costs you money to register with grants, it's a scam. Doesn't cost you any money to register, and it doesn't cost you anything to watch our videos. I did all this so you guys can know and how it works. And then I also gave you businesses that you can start and that you can partner up with. I asked you to do 2 things. Worship God and worship him wholeheartedly, and then share this with other people. That's it. Show everybody that they can do this. Now, what's getting ready to hit y'all really, really, really super duper hard is episode 5. Episode 5 takes you from $30 million. Y'all got to listen to me. Please tell me you're not going to you're going to listen to me. You're not going to unplug for me. $30 million to $1.6 billion. Kevin, you are not telling the truth. That cannot happen. Yes, it is. It's true. I would not pull your leg on this one. I would not trick you on none of these. So what happened here is when you go from $30 million to $1.6 billion grants, you are definitely not starting your business from scratch. Well, in a way you are, because you're going to incorporate, you're going to form a board, you're going to have a bank account, you're going to talk to an accountant and tell them what you're getting ready to do, you're going to talk to a law firm and tell them what you're getting ready to do. They're going to give you their business cards, anticipation on you getting these grants done. You're going to get your business plan laid out, and you're going to submit it. You're going to partner. Listen to Brother Kevin, please. I'm always your brother. You're going to partner with big companies, Fortune 2000, Fortune 5000 companies, Fortune 500 companies. You're going to partner with the United States military. You're going to partner with various branches, because in Grant episode 5, I'll be launching that this very next week. I want you to be ready for it. That's why I'm telling you in advance. I am going to give you the companies that you can partner with. And I'll give you an example. I'm military background. You guys know that. The military needs every single day socks, shoestrings, clothes, boots, knives, sharpeners, hats, toothpaste, toothbrushes, toilet paper, paper towels, on and on, fruit, apples, oranges, pumpkin pie, equipment, the pots, the pans. All of that is bought from civilian companies, civilian contractors. Guess what I give you guys? I give you the actual companies that you can partner with to sell this stuff to the military. And you're going in, becoming a part of these contracts that's 400 million, 300 million, 100 million, 1.2 billion. You're going to be, these contracts in episode 5 are American contracts made in America by America, but they're international because the contracts you have, we have people all around the country. Okay. And then we have our allies. They also buy the product made in America. Okay. So I'm literally giving you will see phone numbers on companies that you all don't know exist that sell food in bulk to the U.S. government, and you will be able to partner with them because all of these are civilian contracts. I'm gonna throw something else at you. If you're of color, and then if you are a woman, you also take advantage of what's called a double minority. It bumps you up a little bit more ahead in the grant piece. It's just, I'm not trying to get anybody that's Caucasian to be upset about this because now Caucasians get a little bump. There's all kinds of things. Only reason I'm saying this, I'm speaking this, it shouldn't be about color, but it is in that world. Now, so when you start doing these one point anything dealing with billion dollars in grants, imagine if you set your company up and I do show you how. I'm not pulling your leg. It is there. The guides are there. I'll always do the A to Z. When you see episode 1 all the way to episode 4 that's done already, you'll see the A to Z guide, and you follow that A to Z guide, and it'll tell you everything you need to have in place to make things work for you. So you guys, please follow the A to Z guide, and it's going to give you a full insight on how these steps work. At some point, you will need to consult. We have consultants, as you know. Go to our website, therearepeople.org, go to consult tab and click a consult. Go to our Healing Proper LLC, healingproper.org, if you need to get directly in contact with a grant writer. These are not people that just say, no, I think I can write a grant. This is successful grant writers that's in the millions of dollars with grants coming in. So with episode 5, the reason why it's so powerful, it's going to scare a lot of people because people will believe that they're completely eliminated. You're not. You're completely a part of it. This money goes to the minorities first. It goes to the new businesses, people that's welcome into the community. All that is there. Yes, you may have to. They do a background check on you. Yes, they check your company out. Yes, they check your board out. Yes, you got to have insurance. Yes, you got to have all these things. But as you structure this, you're going to partner with existing companies that already do this, and they're going to be like, welcome aboard, because your grant gets pulled first. So now just imagine your paycheck for your company when a $1.2 billion contract was received for the U.S. military for silverware or for shoes or for clothes or for a new site that's being built. And then your tiny little paycheck is 20 million or 35 million or 47 million dollars. Because it's 100 million that make a billion. So you're going to get some of them 100 million. You're going to get some of that money. Okay. And it's there, but it's life changing. Even the $1 million to $30 million in episode 4 is life changing. Okay, so you put together your board. Brother Kevin, I don't know the first thing about putting together a board. We instruct you with that because everybody has a particular job. You're going to have your CEO, your COO, Chief or Operations Officer, your CFO, Chief Financial Officer, the Chairman of the board. You got all that in there. You got people that's over everything. You got security staff, security team. You got the whole layout. You got your accountant. You got your legal team. We'll talk about all those things. I got a complete list of structures that you need and your partner. And then your team matches up with the other team, with the company that you look to join forces with. They haven't gotten a check yet, right? But you structured that whole board out so that when you send off your prospectus, you send out this piece for the registration for the knowing everything that the grant ask you, you want to make sure you do not send that grant out until you're in 100% compliance with everything that's there. Okay, that makes sense. Give me some thumbs up. You want to make sure you are 100% compliant before you send that grant out. When you're 100% compliant, that's when your grant gets looked at. Okay, you don't want it kicked back, because if it gets kicked back, that's not a bad thing. It'll tell you what you missed out on, where you made a mistake at, then you can fix it and resubmit it. Also, these grants that I'm showing you are not out-of-date grants because we're looking at the end of the year. That's not how this works. They fiscal years start at different dates and times. However, the grants I'm focusing on for you now are fully set for the 26-27 year. Okay, 2026, 2027. So you, and so to speak, you're ahead of the game. You can do a lot of studies and your due diligence right now. How do I do this? When I tell you I got just about everything there, it is just about everything there. The only thing I don't know is because I don't know what you need yet. So if you need to know how to get started, the instructions are going to be there for episodes. So I'll launch that probably Tuesday for sure. We'll launch episode 5. I'll go over that briefly with you tonight. So I want you guys to go through, watch episode 0. There is an episode 0. It tells you about everything that was coming up. Then go to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are already out there. The last one coming is episode 5. And that puts you up there to $1.6 billion of monies that simply go unclaimed. So, Brother Kevin, how come we just not hearing about this? Some of you are, and some of you aren't. Some of you knew it existed, but you used to working your 9-to-5 job. You used to working these hours, and you stuck with that because you know that check coming. If it's $800, if it's $1,200, if it's $2,000, you know that check coming. So you dare not take a chance on stepping into anything else. But don't sit down and be caught short because other people are. If you look around at other people, whose God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills? I need an answer in the chat. Whose God owns the cattle? That's a trivia. Our God. Our God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. So we need to get about our business. We really do. So these grants walk you all through that. Okay. That being that, I want to welcome everybody here again, everybody that's here. We are a sustainability, country living, preparation, Three Angels message ministry. There are people in need and a God that can help. So we just want to do that. So I want you guys to know about those grants. Then another thing, if you go to healingproper.org, and it's not fully operational yet, we're not launching to this very next year. We didn't put a date on it. We're launching next year in January. We own Healing Proper Short Course Academy. These are going to be classes that people can take online to learn various fields and jobs and all those kinds of things. We have over 80 curriculums. You'll know all about that very soon as we start to lay things out for you. Some of the people we're going to be interviewing for instructors and teaching roles. We even have teaching courses in there as well. All those fine things in every field: entrepreneurship, accounting for non-accountants, medical missionary, or carpentry, electrician, all kinds of things. So there's going to be a lot there. So there's a lot of things that's going to be coming up very shortly. Okay. So we just want to inform you guys of that. So now, new people that we got on the line, let's get you going. I'm going to share my screen before I take questions. Matter of fact, let's take a few questions now before I share my screen, because we're going to be talking about some country living right after this. So if you got a question about anything I said with the grants, Chris, you don't have a question? I see you. So anybody got any questions about anything, go ahead and put your hands up about the grants, any insight, any information you need to know. Anybody got any questions on that? And I see someone says they're living in England. England, I got you. You're on there. You need to watch all the episodes. The UK is there. Canada is there. Jamaica's there. Trinidad, Tobago is there. Puerto Rico is there. Romania is there. Panama is there. Again, Canada. So I got a lot of things on there. Okay. So it's there for you guys. And then the UK, I'm doing a Zoom with you guys. I believe it's either this month, next week, or week after next, or somewhere in there. We'll be on. We get on your time. Our time it'd be 3 a.m. But we'll be on with the UK, and we'll be doing some work for you guys as well for the second time. So the UK, England, we got you. Okay, Scotland, we got you guys. So we got it. So but we talked about grants. So if nobody got any questions, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get on to some fun stuff for the brand new people that's here that don't know who we are and what we do. I'll have my team take some. Go ahead,
I
Chris
do
Brisk.
have a question. Yes,
Go ahead, Chris.
good afternoon.
Good
My
afternoon.
question is, what if you're not up to date on your taxes and you're filing for a grant? How does that affect your grant?
That's a great question. You need to be up to date with everything you do, or find somebody else to partner with, or put the grant in their name. You're not going to be allowed to do business with the government when you're lax and things aren't right. And excuse me, that's just how it is. No big deal. So pray for God gives you an awesome partner, and you guys get busy, and then your name go on the roll so you can get that paycheck. It's that easy. Just do those processes, do those things. Some of the grants, now I'm going to tell you, Chris, good question. With these grants, if it's micro grants pay out in as little as 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. However, when you're talking about the multi-million-dollar grants, okay, that's a 3 to 6 month payout. It takes a while before they pay those out because they're doing all their due diligence, making sure everything is right, all that stuff. But it's so worth it that it's not funny because you literally don't have to go out and buy any equipment. You just have to get quotes on whatever it is that they're going to need so that you'll have actual prices as you present them with perspectives of what you're getting ready to do. And first of all, they don't want everything from you anyway. They only want a one-page synopsis when you do this grant, when you fill out everything on the grant. They want a one-page on how you envision the business being, who's going to benefit, who is it going to help, and then how do you see it in the end. So those kinds of things are done in order. Okay. So, but as far as your personals, have all your personals. Don't be a felon. Those kinds of things. So partner up with other people and just be a part of the company. You don't always have to be the CEO. You don't have to be the head all the time. And then you guys can be successful. Now, once you get your money straight, Chris, then you guys go ahead and take care of all your business. So you can start with smaller grants, which $1 million to $2 million is not that small. Those are quite awesome. And there's a lot of money in there to straighten out your business. But there are much, much, much larger grants that the average person, I want to say the average Joe or average Joanne, the average person can do. And they're allowed by law. And because you'll be a new business and even a minority business, you get moved to the front of the line. All you have to do is make sure all your ducats are in a row. Okay, Chris? Okay. Anybody got any more questions real quick? A list of businesses. When you watch, I see you, Vicky. Give me 1 second. A list of businesses. When you watch those episodes, I got lists of businesses that's there for you all. I have list of businesses that's there for you all that you can see those businesses. And then also, if you need a consultant, I consult y'all. I got to make some money somewhere. So if you give us a call, honestly, and book one of our consultants, it does not have to be me, be any team member, because everything comes up and we all get together to work on that. So if we need be, so if you need a consult, we'll help you out. But you'll see list of businesses, and I can literally plug you into thousands of businesses that are needed around the country. Then as you start to move into the larger grants, like I said, $30 million to $100 million, $200 million grants, $50 million grants, those go out every day, all day long. Okay, for you to get approved for those, again, it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months for all that's finally laid out, and you get your proceeds. And then they'll split those checks up for a year or 2 years, depends on how it is and what you got going on. And then the qualifications with those grants, as you may also stay grant ready or audit ready, I should say, it's making sure you get 3 quotes or 3 bids on anything that you're buying. If you're buying food, you want from 3 different vendors, you want bids. If you're buying transportation with this grant money, you want 3 different quotes. Make sure you have all of that and that you're keeping track of everything. So the person you mostly want to stick to is your accountant. And then your security, making sure all your emails and mails and letters and everything is locked up. Your office personnel, make sure everything is filed properly in order. Your accountant, making sure everything is right there. So if I say right now, give me a piece for an audit, that every ducat is in a row. And I always say this, and to some people it sounds yucky. You don't buy toilet paper out of that grant money for your house. That grant money or what you need for your house should be in your paycheck that's part of that grant. Everything you use that grant money for should be detailed in the grant. And it's allowed for you, even if the business is ran out of your home, you get compensated for that. Okay, so I can match up with you, give you a list of businesses. Okay, now, Vicky, your hand's up. I see you.
Okay, Brother Kevin, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, unfortunately, I had to come on. I had to take care of my mom's thing for my mom. So, and I was catching part of what you were saying about the grants. Where will we find that again?
Go to our YouTube page.
Okay,
It's in the chat. Go to our YouTube page and you'll find the episodes for the grants.
okay,
Okay, and all the goodies on there. Watch those. The only episode you don't have yet is episode 5, and that episode 5 starts at 30 million and take you to 1.6 billion.
okay,
Okay. Now, this doesn't make me nobody special because we doing this. This don't mean I'm a millionaire. This don't mean I got all this going on. Don't mean nothing. It means I've just taken the information that God has allowed me to gather, and I'm sharing it with you all. And I'm telling you for a fact that all of you qualify for this money. And I'm also showing you how to partner with major multi-billion dollar and million dollar and billion dollar companies that's already in existence, and they're going to be happy to see you because you have access to these grants. Okay,
okay,
so I want you to know that. Thank
Thank
you.
you for that information. I'm going to check it out, and
Yes.
I'll be in touch with you or Sister Kay and like, hey, help,
Yep.
Sister Rita. All right.
Yeah, I got you. I was just talking to my sister Carmen with Exodus to the Journey, and she was talking about heavy equipment and those things. There is grant money there for you all to launch a business with heavy equipment. So what happens is if you're teaching and you're doing agricultural, anything farming, anything in the rural areas, which is where Ellen G. White, the Bible, is telling us to go anyway. You can get as much land as you want. It's paid for in that grant. The equipment, you're gonna lease the equipment, but you're gonna get 3 quotes from 3 different big suppliers. You're gonna lease that. You're gonna pay people with CDLs to come out and train everybody. Lots of grant money for that. You want to build a school, grant money for that. All the stuff you put up, you get to keep. That's yours when the grant's done and paid for. All you gotta do is make sure you show in the end, when the audit comes, that you did everything on the up and up. The equipment goes back to the leaser, who you leased it, or the leasee, who you leased it from, or whatever, and everything else you have to continue on. And the way I set grants up for you, when you're consulting with me and I'm helping you compile these, is I set things up for you to be self-sustaining after your second year. So you rely on the grant for that first year, the first year and a half, and then the finances that allows you now to create and the marketing, advertising, the things that you do carry you the rest of the way so that you don't have to continue to reapply for that grant annually. However, you can reapply for grants to be self-sustaining on an annual basis. But if you want to get off from under them, the way we write it is so that if you turn this into a school, that school makes enough revenue to keep you continuing on. And then you build a store from there, you build whatever you want to build from there, plus your finance, your income depends on what size grant you got. Again, if you're part of a $2 million or $10 million grant, if you're part of a $60 or $150 million grant, a $50 or $200 million grant, and when I tell you they go out every day, when you see episode 5, you'll be like, Brother Kevin was right. Your paycheck being part of a $50 million grant, I'm just guessing off the top of my head, could be, on the low end, 500, 600,000, or a whole lot more. Again, I said on the low end. Depends on what company you partner up with and what your pay would be, because there's a profit margin there. Okay, just on the low end, I'm telling you, one check can change your whole mind, your whole life, everything there. You'll be wearing different shoes, be rich and sounding like Chris Briss, right, Chris? Chris, like, don't pick on me. I see a hand raised. K, K, is that you, my sister? Unmute, unmute.
That's not me, Kevin. That's someone
Oh,
else. I
okay.
have a clone tonight.
Okay. Hi, my sister. Welcome. That's Kay from There Are People Ministry. The other Kay, go ahead and unmute. Thank you, Cousin Kay. I'll call you Cousin Kay. You know that, right? That's my sister, though, y'all. Okay. All right, Kay. Whenever you can unmute the other Kay, go ahead and do so. But listen, there's a lot available. So now let's back up just a little bit and go to. Let me share my screen and let me go to some country living stuff. And let me share my screen. Let's go here. And then let's go to a presentation that Brother Kevin wants to share with you all. And let's do this from the beginning. So, country living and sustainability and life in the country. So, this is our ministry. This is our true ministry. First of all, God gave us an awesome team with There Are People. He says there are people in need and a God that can help. So, when God put this team together, I was elated to be able to just come and and do things. And then God gave us such an awesome team that I still had to take time and relish the awesome people that I get to work with all the time. Okay, we got a Canadian connection. We got the Tennessee connection. We got people now all over the place, and we've grown so much, but we all just mesh together like cake mix. Like cake mix ready to be baked. And God is really taking care of us with this ministry. So we put this together. So based on let me minimize this out of my way so I can see here. So based on the King James Bible and Ellen G. White, we're going to talk about why it's important, why our ministry is strong, or what's important that people still miss. And for you, those of you that are brand new, this is going to be important for you. Revelations 18:4 says, "Come out of her, my people, because Babylon is fallen, is fallen." We don't want to be partakers of her sin. That's one of the main reasons behind our ministry, because we need to know that we got to get moving. We don't have a lot of time. So the things we think we can do, we just can't do, okay? So come out of her. and just separate completely. So it's 20 biblical and prophetic reasons to leave the cities. If you're in the city, you're still in the city, and you think everything is good and okay, it's not. So obey God's call. Go read 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. Escape judgment, because God's judgment's coming down on those cities. And unfortunately, some people may be a part of that if you're in the wrong place. You don't want to be there, okay? And then to preserve the morality, not just of yourself, of your children you're raising or your grandchildren. Leave the city, okay? Get to the country so that you can preserve your morality, so you can be of a different standard, okay? And then prepare for the crisis. Isaiah 26 and 20. So you want to leave the country, leave the city and get to the country so you can prepare for, what's coming, the no buy, no sell, no time of trouble. Any situation, you want to be in the place that's comfortable. You want to be if I can say, in the bosom of Christ. You want to be where you need to be, and that's not in the city, okay? So you want to move to the country so that you can avoid dependence on city things, city resources, light, gas, food, water, all those kinds of things. When you're in the country, you can be self-sustainable. Like right now, we're in the country, we do propane, not city gas. So I have supplies and stocks of propane, those kinds of things. Then we have trees, we have our own, we buy wood and we have our own wood, and we got all those things. So we got resources. Then you got food. If you've been canning, you can buy your food and your seed in bulk. I was hearing another sister say that we have to learn how to go to Walmart once a month, or go to the major store once a month, not twice a day, once a month. So being in the country, you're going to need lots of spices, lots of seasonings, lots of things, lots of oils. Buy that in bulk and store those things up now, so you're not going back and forth every day to the store. We went to it was Dollar Tree. I think Dollar Tree was still $1 then. Now it's like $1.25, $1.30 something. We went there and we spent over $500 some dollars, and we got everything out of it. We got all kinds of things: mirrors, brushes, wooden spoons, containers, just sewing kits and patches. And we piled all those in containers. That's when we were still in the city, and we taped all that up, and we still haven't cracked that open. And we got lots of goodies in there people don't think about. Trust me, hit up Dollar Tree, spend about $500 or $600, put some of that stuff in containers so that you at least have something. Don't let everybody tell you, hey, here's some of the things they tell people: God got you. God is the one telling us to prepare people. Let's use our common sense. God is the one who's telling us to flee to the mountains. God is the one to tell us to get to the country, to be ready, okay, to be self-sustaining, to evangelize, be able to assist others, welcome others onto our property. Because if you're just thinking about yourself, what's going to happen when you have to welcome people onto your property? You have no resources for them, okay? So follow Eden's model, get in the garden, let's get busy, let's do all these things, okay? So, but number 5, avoid dependency on the system. And then when you're in the country, number 7, you can grow pure food, good, clean, healthy, wholesome food. For those of you who do not know, and some of you may remember mad cow disease, when people were getting sick and they had to kill all those cows who had a disease. That's happening right now again in Texas, and you all have not even heard about it. There's another outbreak of something that's worse than mad cow disease that's happening right now again in Texas. So be aware of these things. So you want to grow healthy food so you can be self-sustaining. Halloween, look at all the pumpkins people got just sitting out in the yard, sitting out in the street, sitting on their porch, so that they can say it's fall. And then after that, the pumpkin's going to rot, they're going to throw them away. Do you know how much food that is? I can make French fries from pumpkins. I can make baby food from pumpkins. I can make pet food from pumpkins. I can make sweet potato or candy yam, but they're pumpkins from pumpkin. You can make steak, meat patties from pumpkin, and on and on and on and on and on and on. So there's a lot. So grow pure food, okay? And then be healthy through nature, fresh air, clean water, breathable air, being able to take walks and hikes and enjoy what God has given us, okay? And then you want to escape the population and the pollution, escape the pollution of the cities. So you got an overabundance of people, where the sidewalks are polluted with people, but then the air is polluted, the water's polluted. The toxicity in the food is tremendous, because it's coming in where they just rapidly produced it from an egg hatching to being in a restaurant inside a couple of weeks. How does that even happen? And the body doesn't know how to assimilate those toxins. So people are sick with all kinds of diseases and all kinds of things that the body doesn't know how to deal with. And that's because of the food that we eat, okay? So escape the pollution and then avoid crime. It's a lot less likely for your house to get broken into or you to get carjacked in the country, because what they're gonna pull up to you on a horse and buggy. So no, I was driving down the road the other day and a bunch of cows got broke out. You guys should see that YouTube short. It's so funny. And I told those cows, I said, go back home before I start back eating meat. And they turned around on cue and went back. And it's so sweet to see cows coming down the road. And you see so many things in the country that's just unique and different. It's just awesome. So it's a beautiful place to be. And to avoid crime, 2 Timothy 3:13. Please read that. Okay. And then educate by nature. Nature's going to teach you so many things that it's not funny. It's going to teach you, depending on where you're living. Yeah, when you really plant, you got the almanac books, you got all those kinds of things. But nature's going to talk to you and show you some things, how things grow, how do you live, how the weather is, how cold it is, how much wood to burn, what kind of wood burns good here. All those, so many factors that you're going to learn from nature that it's just unbelievable. Okay, and then you want to avoid the collapse of what's getting ready to happen in the city. You see the troops are in the cities, and you see so much stuff going on in Chicago the other day. ICE took in over 1,500 people that they captured, but now everybody's fighting in the street, and the lady, they got her clothes all off and business exposed and everything. She works for a news station, and they're out trying to battle ICE and getting it. It's just so much chaos. Now, what happens when that erupts and Trump's bringing the National Guard in? That erupts where people start getting shot. There's your civil war, and it's not the North against the South like it was before. You don't know who the enemy is. Say, yes, I'm American, but what kind of American are you? And people's lives are going to be cut short. So we want to get away from all of that. Escape the mandates that obligate you by law to do certain things that we know that's not becoming to Scripture. Okay, like Sunday law. In the country, you can worship when you want to. Ellen G. White does write about this. Even if you're going back to the city and they mandate that you worship on Sunday, have your Bible out. Be helping people. Witness to people. That's what we do anyway. Evangelize. They won't know the difference if you're worshiping or what you're doing, but realistically, you evangelize, which is what we should do, because you don't just sacrifice your life and say, hey, I'm not doing that on Sunday. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Evangelize. Take a chance to stretch out, because it's God's work. And then when she writes, it's the devil shows that he made a mistake. He made a mistake, because you're going to mandate, I serve worship on Sunday. I'm going to worship my God, but we know when the true Sabbath is. But now you give me the opportunity on Sunday to go out and evangelize. Here I come. And we can go from the country and do that and make our way back home safely, because we didn't go there putting up a fit, putting our life on the line, like, well, we're opening our mouth and saying things we should not say. So you guys got to read up on that. Okay. So avoid the collapse, escape the mandates, and you can worship freely. You can worship freely in the country. Okay. So let's get it. Let's get on out here. We should be able to offer people assistance and help. We should be able to worship with people. We should be able to teach people in the country true worship, true Sabbath, all those things, and do it freely and not worry about anything. Okay. So you want to avoid apartheid, avoid control, avoid all this stuff. Prepare for the latter rain. Be right with God. By beholding, we become changed. By being one in the country with Christ, you take on that character where the city simply starts to tear you down, and you're worried about this and that and the other. So, there's lots of things that we can do, okay? And then we need to be able to have a refuge for others as well, that people can come and feel safe on our property. Don't get there and just say, no, this is my secret spot. It's not a secret spot. It's not a secret spot. It's not a secret. Be there to receive God's people and help people. He even tells us there's other sheep that are not of this fold. So I'm saying this to all our new people that's not familiar with who we are and what we do. But we teach the three angels message. We want people to be aware that, we need to come out of Babylon as fallen things are. We just have to recognize that we don't have a lot of time, and we are in the last generation. Okay. So you can have a peace of mind. My wife and I, as they're working on our house, the contractors are now inside, and we walk through it so many times a day that it ain't funny, because we just feel how awesome it is, and knowing how God has blessed us, and we're just ready to have a great time. This time next year, I like to be, or earlier in the year, I like to be doing a camp on our property to bring you all out. So you want a peace of mind, you want a simple life, and fulfill prophecy. Fulfill prophecy, people. We need to be in the country and self-sustaining and making things happen. Okay, so real quick, steps to prepare for country transition. Ready to go. Ready to go. Okay. So pray for direction. Ask God to help you and guide you. God, I need to get to the country. What do I do? Guide me. Let the Holy Spirit rest, root, and abide in my decisions, my walk, my thoughts, my tongue, my wallet, and guide me to where I need to be. Okay. And then make a plan to do that. Even if it's, let's call Brother Kevin, let's call Sister Kay, let's call Sister Rita, Brother Devontae, let's call our Canada Connection, Sister Trudy, Sister Nicosia. Let's call for help and see what we can do. Let's make a plan. And then we'll bring it down to something that's called simplified. Let's see the easiest way we can get things done. In the military, they used to say something called KISS, KISS. It's like, keep it simple, stupid, but we don't call people stupid. That's what they used it for. But let's simplify. Let's keep it simple, okay? So that we can make, so you can make that move. Research the rural areas. Where do I want to go? What qualifies as rural? How close should I be to the cities? All those things. So let's be aware of all those things. And then you're going to learn skills. There's our sister at Exodus to the Journey. They just had a beautiful camp meeting there, and the reviews came back that they had so many skills that people learned, that it was just outstanding with the skills. We want to be able to teach people various skills and everything to make things better for you. So seek to learn those skills. YouTube has a whole lot on there, people, that's very handy. And I tell people this: get a YouTube downloader software for like 19 to 29 bucks, get you an external hard drive, and download every YouTube video on self-sustaining, country living, preparation, auto mechanics, building bricks for beginners, anything you can type in, sewing for beginners or novice. You can just download hundreds of thousands of videos, and it doesn't cost you a dime extra when you have a YouTube download, and it's not copyright protected. Okay, so do that. And then as you learn skills, also number 6, pay your debts. Don't come to the country with those same old debts. Get rid of all that stuff so you come to the country clean. Visit the lands. Check out where you want to be, where you want to go, okay? And then you're going to connect with believers, like-minded believers, and see if those people have the same ideas you have, which they should, because they like-minded believers. You guys team up and partner up and buy space even close to each other, if not sharing the same space, and get to the country. You guys, I'm calling people to get together, but not on one homestead, not with 50,000 people. If you can break that up and sell those sections off to each other for reduced rates, then everybody's responsible for their own land. Nobody has to worry about being put out. Okay, I'm getting a lot of older people. I got a young lady that called me the other day crying so bad. She has an ailment, a deformity, those kinds of things, had surgery. She needs help. She owns her own properties in the city, but she's trying to get to the country. I want to be able to match everybody up. So we just launched the Tap Match app, Tap 2.0, and we had to put it at a price, what was the lowest price we can put it at, and we don't make any money off of it. It's only $5.99, and it shows people. We did it before, but it was costing us $600 a month. You guys know we don't get a lot of money, and you don't see anybody saying, "Brother Kevin, we're gonna send you $1 million." You don't see that because you don't hear us asking for it. So through my book sales and through what's in our store, we were keeping that Tap Match app as long as open as we could, and free as long as we could, I should say. So we just relaunched it, and if you guys sign up for the Tap Match app, when you're done, when you got the resolve, you won't get off of it. So you're not committed to paying $6 a month. It was only $6, $5.99, literally. One lady snapped on us and said, "You guys ought to be ashamed taking advantage of everybody, all these poor people." When she said that, we only had 2 people, literally 2 people that signed up for 2. It's $11 and something cents, not even a whole $12. But no, we're not in it for the money. Honestly, God takes care of us. But the Tap Match app, sign up for it, utilize it, and you can find people that meet your qualifications. You meet theirs, and you guys can lock up and get to the country property. Any resources you have, you can share it on there, and you benefit from that. So take advantage of the Tap Match app. When you're done with it, disconnect. You don't have to continue to give $6. You don't need it. However, if you see services and skills you need, sign back up and get in there, because we want to offer services there as well. We want to make it as useful as possible and keep it, as low as we can possibly can. So it's $5.99, not $29.95 like everybody else is doing. $5.99. Now, if y'all think we're making money off of that, just something wrong with you. That's all. Okay. So visit the lands, connect with believers, and then gather. When you get out, my sister Kay was talking about this the other day on our Family Day. Watch the Family Day episode too if you guys didn't see that. We had Family Day on Sunday. It was so beautiful and awesome. Gather seeds. Start to gather your seeds. We started gathering seeds years before we moved to our country property. Okay, and then start to resave seeds as you buy organic fruits and vegetables from the store. When you buy organic, save the seeds. The reason why you can't do that with just anything, because some of the things they grow is sterile. Like you're getting all the seedless watermelons, or you get some corn and that corn is dry, but you can't replant it if you took some out of the field because it was Roundup Ready or it was Monsanto, those kinds of things. That stuff is sterile. You can't use it. It'll grow a plant, but you won't get any corn from it. So you want to gather seeds, and there's tons of websites that you can do that with. Okay. Study solar, water, and water systems, and get those on your on your land. Be ready to do that. There are grants available to help you guys with just about everything here that I named. Okay, and then 10 things to do upon arrival to the country. Dedicate your land first to God. We did that. We had to pray our house. We had to pray in our house. We knew what the house was, how long it's been around, all those kinds of things. It was lifted up out the ground. Extra second basement was added, all kinds of blessings. But we had to walk through our house and pray. And we did that. And we still do it all the time. When we walk the land and we pray, and we have not had any issues. Our God is awesome. When you get on your property, so if nothing's on your land, even if you got a house on your land, also build a second shelter. If you got a house, still build another shelter in case there's a situation where you ever have to run out of that house because of fire. Because remember, you're in the country now. It may be too far for you to run to the city. It may be too far for you to run to the neighbor. So have a second shelter on your property in the event of there's an incident. And those are easy to build now. You can do that because you're on country property and you got less stringent laws and all those kinds of things. If you don't have a house, the first thing you do when you get there is build a shelter. Technically, we tell you plant seed, but make sure you got a shelter. Then you want to locate water. If you're going to do a sandpoint well, even to know where the rivers and lakes are that's close by you. If you don't have any of this on your property yet, you need to know where those things are in case you have to leave walking, okay, in case there's an emergency. Then you want to start a compost area, number 4, and you want to put that way away from your living area. You want to put it out in the woods a little bit, but you want to make sure you got clarity away from the house quite a distance, but you want to make sure you got clarity, a field of vision, so you don't get, have to compete with the bear because the bear says, I like compost cereal. So you want to make sure that you got a clear vision on that. Okay, and then later as you get everything all set up, you can know what that proper distance is and all those fun things. Then you want to plant quick crops, food that grows immediately. That's like immediately, but faster. Immediately. You want to make sure you plant those quick crops, get those things in the ground so you got something to look at. Then you want to build a greenhouse if you can. Build your greenhouse or green tube. There's grants available for all this as well to be self-sustaining. There is grant money available for you all that's new to the country, by the way. Then you want to install fences in particular areas. If you're going to do fruit trees, if you're going to do your planting area, your garden area to keep the deers from eating up all your goodies, you want to make sure you put fencing around those areas, okay? If you got dogs are your first line of defense. I don't put my dogs in the front of the house or the back of the house. I put my dogs on the side of the house so they can have a vision of all around the house there, and that's your first line of defense. When they get to barking, you know something going on, okay? Then you want to store rainwater. We have classes we'll be teaching on that, how to capture rainwater from your gutter system. We got the blue barrels, how to recycle those and do 800,000 things with those, but you definitely want to capture rainwater so you can be sort of off grid, so to speak. If you're getting those tremendous water bills and all those kinds of things, and you don't have your well and all that stuff in there yet, you want to be able to do those things, okay? And then again, we talked about building the shed. It's going to be key that you build a shed. The first one was a shelter. Number 2 was build a shelter. This one, build a shed so that you can store things securely. Shelf space is going to be key. Build that shed. And if you do that shed right, think about what I'm finna say now. If you do that shed right, you can actually build it above your root cellar or your underground cellar or underground secret place where you store things at. So there's a bunch of benefits there to building a shed, but definitely build a shed because you need to store your things, your lawnmowers, all those things to make sure nothing gets corrupt, all those kinds of things. Not everybody will have a 2 or 3 car garage or garage at all. So you want to build a shelter and a shed. Those things are key. So keep those things in mind, okay? And then you want to stock firewood. Depends on what state you're in. They allow you to go out into the forestry and cut X amount of cords of firewood on the annual. And I think here in Wisconsin, we get to do 2 to 3 for free. And the permit's only like, a few dollars, and you can go and get X amount more. So you can do that. So please check those things out as well. Okay. Why not return to the city? Reasons to stay out of the city, because you don't want to go back to dependency on anything except for God. We want to trust God. So we don't go back to the city for that because he told us where to go. And if you go back to the city, you go back to spiritual regression where you start going backwards, back into Babylon, back into the worldly things. And then we know the economy is going to collapse. We just know that's going to happen. However, the country gives us a buffer. So we don't have to worry about those things. We can be self-sustaining when that economy do collapse and they see that now the unions have taken over. Like in 2028, the unions are going to strike. That means all the food's going to be held up at the ports, and eventually the trucks will stop coming to Walmart. And then where's your food coming from in the city? Nowhere. So if you're in the country, it's coming from your shed or your shelter or the root cellar, because you've already prepared for those things. This is not the first time these things have happened, and the Bible's already told us to make ready for it. So we need to be ready for it. Okay. So food scarcity, we want to be ready for that. Pollution, that's in the city. We don't want that. Food scarcity, that's in the city. Zombie apocalypse is real. You guys have saw so many games about zombies. These are zombies that's extremely hungry. There's no food there. There's nothing on their face, but want to eat, eat, eat. Their bellies is hungry. Their navel is licking their spine from the inside and trying to eat. The body starts to eat on itself. It's not, honestly, this is truthful speaking. It's just a matter of time before people start eating people. That has happened before. It won't be the last time. I remember the photos I saw on the streets of North Korea, and I'm not trying to gross anybody out, where they were selling, you know how you got crackling skins? The skin's been cooked, and it was baby flesh, a baby skin. So these things happen. So this, we take for granted how real God is. We trust the devil at being evil and killing people and murder, but we really take for granted how awesome our God is, that he loves us enough to warn us like this, and then able to have where we can share these teachings with you. There's going to be some terrible things go on. So we want to come out of the corruption of the cities. We want to come out of the control of the cities. We want to come out of the high stress of the cities. We want to come out and family loss. I mean, look how much family you lose to the city. Gunshot violence, drug overdose, clubs, nightclubs, just trying to live that life, social media platform, trying to live that life, and then the overall destruction itself of the cities. So we don't want to go back. Okay, so there's positive benefits for country living, and I want you guys to understand this is why our ministry is what it is. So I just want to say thank you guys for being here. We're not done. I just want to thank everybody that's here, because I got new people on here for the first time, and giving me the opportunity to share with you. And then we'll go back talking about grants and all the other fun stuff we got coming up. So positive benefits: one, you can get closer to God in the country, because now you can pray 5 times a day, 20 times a day, 24 times a day, however many times you want. You can get one with God, and the freedom to do and worship as you see fit on your land. Brother Kevin, what about how do we pay our taxes and all those kinds of things? Don't worry about the problems for tomorrow. Don't worry about the problems for tomorrow. Okay, deal with what the issues are you have today. You'll learn different ways that you can prepare for those kinds of things. But when time comes where money won't be an issue, where there's nobody, no sale, cast your cares to God right there in the first place. But don't look for tomorrow's problems for today, because today we're good to go. We just need to get you ready to get to the country. Health, much more healthier. The ability to be healthier in the country. We had a young lady on the other day, and she was telling us some things so simple that people overlook it, about brushing your teeth. You should brush your teeth as soon as you get up in the morning, even before you eat, because that bacteria you don't want on your stomach. And then you should brush them several times a day and floss. A lot of the sicknesses people have, the infection starts in your mouth. And she started throwing at key things I've never heard in all of my life. And it made so much sense, because you can look at people and their gums and how swollen their gums are and all those things, and then you know they have a sickness that's coming from within you. The bacteria, the disease, all that stuff is building up within you. And she was giving such a piece that was outstanding. So we will have her back on Thursday. This next Zoom we have Thursday after now, and then we're going to go ahead and learn a lot from her. So I instruct you guys to be there. She has several degrees, and she's not only is she a supreme medical missionary, she's actually an RN nurse as well, and a dental hygienist, and she do everything. Medical missionary, big time. Okay, and there's a lot there. So you guys are going to learn about the health part of this, and then family unity. Your family is going to respect you when they see now what you're doing and how you're living, and how less stressed you are, and less worries you have for where you are. Okay, and then as families start to come together, you also go down to 5. You get peace. There's peace in your home. Nobody's fighting to steal the car, to run to the city, or bringing the cousins in, and all those kinds of stuff. You don't want Tutu and Junebug and all them out on your country property. So you can control those things and keep it peaceful. And then simplicity. Wake up, pray, okay? Wash up, eat, do your chores, all those kinds of things. Work, pray again, keep your family in order, teach, homeschooling, what's happening, show people how things work in the field, cultivate, garden, prepare, pray again. No, I mean, keep it simple, okay? And then stewardship. Have great stewardship over the things that God has given you, and guard and watch and monitor those things correctly. Okay. Remedies, you're able to to get remedies. You're able to fix all kinds of things that's just good for you. And that's going to benefit and bless you in the long run. So be ready for that. And then strength where? Physically, spiritually, and literally financially as well, because you're saving so much money because you didn't bring all that debt out here. So you're going to be good to go. So you build up your spiritual strength and be right with God, because by beholding we become changed. Okay. And then being able to joyfully work. You guys seen my videos of my wife on the riding lawnmower just having a good time. Now my 9-year-old, she asks me 4 times a day, Dad, can I get on the tractor? Can I get on the tractor? And she's just loving it. So raise your children up as well. Teach them how things work. Teach them safety first, God first, but teach them safety, security, the importance of safety is very, very key. When to start things up, when to shut things off, where to go in the event of trouble, where the fire extinguishers are, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, extra gas, propane, bring all that stuff there and make sure everybody knows where that's at. And then we back to number 1, because then where we started, you end up closer to God. Okay, I wanted to share that with you all. And then moderate skills and independence. So you want to check out solar energy, rainwater collection, gardening, herbal medicine is going to be key. Herbal medicine, your greenhouse, growing everything you like to eat. Don't grow something you're not going to eat. I mean, you can if you know you got it for somebody else, but grow what you like to eat, grow several things, and then look at some of the recipes and cookbooks and things like that to show you ways you can use multiple different things you grow to make multiple dishes. Okay, and then preservation, where you can preserve and lay things out, not just food, but other things you would normally throw away, old wheels and tractors and scooters and all those things. Break them down, save those things, put them in a storage shed. So when the time comes you need something, I just happen to have that, okay? Animal care, make sure everything's laid out so you can feed your animals. Our brother had his dogs. His dogs were plant-based dogs, vegans. So, get them dogs used to eating food you're making from pumpkins and all those kinds of things. And then take care of your animals, because that's your first line of defense, okay? Woodworking, learn the art of woodworking, because that comes natural in the country. And then plumbing, acquire the tools you guys can now, whether you need them now or not. Go get you a rod, which I did for your toilets, extra rings, all those things. So wax rings, those wax rings are like $2 or $3 a piece. Put those in your storage for when you do need them, so you don't have to go 40, 50 miles away to the Walmart or to the big box store to grab those things. Some things you can store up on when you're in the city, okay? And then bartering. Don't forget, things you think is junk or trash is key to somebody else, because a person just I go to the big box store normally when I'm in the city, and the lawnmower throws a belt. I go get a belt for like $9, right? Fan belt, $11, that kind of thing. In the country, one of my lawnmowers broke the belt. It was $60. $60. It was $60. I'm still in shock from that. But that's how it is when you're in the country, because everything has to come from so far. So that's why bartering is going to be key for you to be able to trade things like that. Okay. Isaiah 32:18, my people shall dwell in a peaceful habitation. Isaiah 41:10, fear thou not, for I am with thee. God has you in the country. He told us where to go to be with him. So we are here. And then Psalms 91:1, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. Hallelujah. This is our secret place, but it's not secret like it's me and God. It's us with God right here where we need to be. So be excited. Okay. Begin preparing right now. Choose a skill to start. I need you guys to say, look, I want to start working with rainwater, or I want to start with sowing, or I want to start with planting. I want to start with harvesting or doing herbs, all those kinds of things, and get started. And visit virtual land, visit rural lands this month. Go out and take a look at somebody else's property. Go out and see what you want to do. Look at other properties for sale, just to get a general idea. What would I do if I had this land? And you don't need a lot of land. There's things you can do with a little land that we talked to you about. And then share your knowledge and testimony, which we're going to do here tonight. I want you guys to give me some testimonies about the fun things that's going on, okay? And then closing blessings, Joshua 1:9, be strong and of good courage. God didn't give you the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. So be encouraged. Let's be strong. Let's do things. And country living is God's plan for restoring faith and independence. For restoring faith and independence. If we really wore faith like faith was meant to be worn, and use faith like faith was meant to be used, and walk in faith like faith was meant to be walked in, and believe in faith like faith was meant to be believed in, my goodness, you'll see mountains running all over the place, because we can speak to the mountain and tell it to be moved, and it'll move. So we have to trust God for that. Country living builds that faith back up. Okay. So our God says there are people in need and a God that can help. And so he gave us the ministry, There Are People. So I thank you guys for that piece. And right now I'm going to open up for questions. Okay. And the first hand I see is Patrick Beckford.
Blessings, man. Question to you.
Yes.
Well, you mentioned about YouTube. Or you can get some downloaders. I missed that part.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you. A YouTube downloader. If you go on Google and you Google, give me the top 10 YouTube downloaders, Google, and it's going to give you what a YouTube downloader is. It's a software that you actually buy. It's an app, an application you actually buy. It allows you to then, once you download it, to go onto YouTube. And when you see a video you like, you drag the URL from the top, which is the www dot address for that. You drag that into into your YouTube downloader file. It'll automatically download that video for you, right, onto your external hard drive. An external hard drive is a portable hard drive you can buy at Walmart or a big box store. And if you get you like an 8, 10 terabyte, I mean, you can download so many videos, it ain't funny. Literally, my wife told me I was hoarding the internet because I got videos on bricklayers from beginners, on every car I can think of, how to put in engines, how to put in brakes, how to repair hoses and leaks, how to fix a house, how to do plumbing, how to build, how to tear a house down, how to cut trees. Whatever your imagination can think of, high school, grade school, college courses, MIT, all that stuff is free. They got full courses, full training courses, business 101, how to buy and bid on contracts, how to go and get grants. A lot of this stuff is absolutely free. It's on YouTube, but they don't know that, they don't expect everybody to say, okay, I could just download this and read it later. I tell you to download all these how-tos and all these DIYs so that when the time comes and nobody no sell, and you're out on your country property, you can now plug this hard drive in and just spend months and months and months going through all these videos. How do I fix a fence? How do I put up a fence? How do I dig a root cellar? How do I do this? How do I put a roof back on? How do I lay shingles? How do I build bricks? How do I start with this? It's all there in your little hard drive. So don't sleep
Really?
YouTube downloader and how to do things.
One question to you now. When the system down, and like we are a community of believers, various place, wouldn't you believe that a CB radio would be effective in keeping the communication because you won't have a TikTok, not TikTok, you won't have a internet, you won't have this, you won't have that. What do you think
Absolutely.
about that?
Absolutely. So what he's talking about, you all that don't know, back in the 70s, it's still a big thing now for truck drivers. Hi, there's a rubber duck that, and my handle was actually the Christian Cruiser. CBs are citizen band radios, and that's the CBs that they have in the cars and all those kinds of things. So, but they're not today. They still today as they were back then. They're a way that you can reach people within a certain distance. And if you got a tall whip, as we called it back in the day, or a tall antenna, you can literally talk to Florida from Wisconsin of those things. So what he's saying is if you gather CB radios in the event the system goes down, you can still hook up to electric and talk to each other. And he's absolutely right. However, if you don't want to be tracked by a signal, then you simply have to keep that off because at some point they triangle your spot and zero in on you. But yes, I prefer citizen band radios or CBs. And I do, just as you said, my brother, suggest that people do get CB radios because you also got the independent solar radios, the pocket radios that gives you lots of radius in miles and all those kinds of things. Those are good to have as well. You got the solar ones now, so they can lay out in the sun and completely recharge. And if you get the right ones, they also have a C plug, so you can plug up something else to charge with that, and it'll have a flashlight on it and all those things. And you got portable CB radios that does that as well. So yes, I do recommend CB radios. I do like that, brother. And you can have a base station with a taller antenna for your home base, and you can literally bring people into you because there's going to be ways that people still do communicate when the system goes down. So when the system goes down, it usually does not affect the CB or citizen band radios.
Okay,
Unless,
thank you. I pause.
wait. Unless it's an EMP, electromagnetic pulse. So then you want to keep those things in that they got this bag. And y'all know which bag I'm talking about, right? What's it called? A Faraday bag, where you put anything in there, your cell phone, your tablets, your radios, stuff that you want to have in the future. Listen to Brother Kevin again, just like I told you about that YouTube downloader. Go on to Amazon and say, I want a Faraday bag. You can get it as big as a cell phone, or you can get it as big as a laptop, or you can get a Faraday wrap for your car. And I know y'all did not know this. So in the event there's an EMP, it blocks the EMP, which destroys the magnetos and electricity and all the things in your car, so it won't start, or your cell phone or your TV, so they're no longer any good. But if you put all that in this bag, the Faraday bag, if you call me right now and my phone's in the Faraday bag, it won't ring. I won't hear nothing. And when I open the bag up, even if you sit next to me, when I take it out, it's gonna say you missed the call. because it protects it from even knowing that signal came in. But then when you bring it out, it's going to pick something somebody called you, that kind of thing. So you want to buy Faraday bags and go buy your new laptop or desktop, the charger, the plug, put all that in a Faraday bag with your external hard drive that you got loaded up off of YouTube, and put it in the safe. You're done with it. Don't pull it out for no reason. You don't need it. Okay? Don't
You
need it.
can
Make a
put the
duplicate.
link. You can put the link in the chat.
No, just go to Google and say Faraday bags. Just go to YouTube, say Faraday bags. Go to Amazon
Hey,
and order a Faraday bag.
no, you
Somebody put the link in the chat.
you
I have
pa
somebody put.
you speak fast, so
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not getting it, or you spell it or something.
Okay, put that. Have my team put the Faraday bags in the chat for you, and they'll put the YouTube downloader link in the chat for you, so you can go to Amazon and for the Faraday bags, for the CB radios, for the solar chargers that will keep your tablet and cell phones and those things charged up in the event of an EMP, and then you'll be the only one with something because you got everything all charged up already. And then go to YouTube for the YouTube downloader. You don't get that through Amazon.
Okay.
I'm not sorry, not through YouTube. Go to the Google Play Store or another site for the YouTube downloader. Google will just tell you how to find it. Okay?
Thank you much.
You're welcome. I apologize for speaking fast. I was just trying to deliver real quick. Okay. Anybody? I see a hand up. Patrick, you had your hand up, so yours can go down. Kay, I see your hand up.
Yes, brother.
Hi.
Well, as Brother Patrick had just bring to you, I was about this to bring that to you too about the CB radio. That's something that we are talking about on another line that we are both on, and I said I would bring it to you concerning those things. And I think also we would need you to come onto the other line to deliver what you're delivering here, because it's so good when we collaborate together, to help one another. So I
I'm
think
available.
this would be good to have you collaborate on that group on a Sunday where we discuss the same thing on CB radio, because again, he said there CB radio that is able to communicate from, like, say, Jamaica to US.
You
So there's
can. Yeah.
yes, that's what
Yeah,
said.
you
So
can.
right, yes, brother. So I'm going to get you on Sunday coming, and you get
Yes, ma'am.
more. A matter of fact, they're going to try with those that have already purchased to see how it works. So you can
So
communicate from Wisconsin to Jamaica.
yeah,
Yes.
the way that works, that when from Wisconsin to Jamaica would be like a relay. So if you got another brother in Georgia, North Carolina, somewhere that relays from there. But yeah, they got what's called whips, and then they got what's called ham radios, all those kinds of things. And yeah, you can talk from country to country with that. And I've seen it done. That's been out for CB radios have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Where some people still think it's old, but no, they're still in cabs, taxi cabs still
Mm-hmm.
use them. A lot of people still use the citizen band radios because it's so much cheaper. You pay no bills with those. You don't
True.
pay a monthly bill with those.
Right. So that's one way we're trying to get everybody to get ready for the when the when we're off the system, when the phone line is down. How do we communicate with one another? So we're trying to tell everyone on the line is to get it so we can still keep communication. Like for you, we can still communicate with your brother when the line goes down. So
Absolutely.
that's a good point. And God is good because he's bringing us together at this point in time. But again, when we have this information, then I said we need to share and work together so we can help everyone for the common good, that when the time comes we can able to communicate, because it's going to be hard. We're going to be east west. How are we going to communicate where we have no way of communicating? So the CB radio and others are able to do that.
We
So
talk. Thank you, my sister.
huh?
I said thank you.
Yes, no problem, brother Fuller.
Okay. So we had talked before about this. We had also talked before about creating, languages and maps and ideas. Because if you remember back in the day, people had I'll tell you what's going on today that a lot of people still don't know about. Back in the day, you had what's called hobos. You don't hardly hear about hobos no more. Hobos were people who rode the trains. They rode the trains across country, not trained with a ticket. They got on freight trains and they were able to go from New York to California. And each stop they get off on under the tunnel or under the viaduct, they had symbols on the viaduct that tell you when the train comes and where it's going, so you know if that's the next freight train you want to hop on, because they knew the time of the week that that train came through, or the time of the month that it came through to take you where you were going. So hobos used the freights to travel across the country. And then there was something where, if you guys remember the Underground Railroad, there was markings and things set, and people traveled by that. And then the Freemason, and they had ways of travel. How come God's people don't have any kind of ingenuity in thinking like that? So CB radios is one, and then there's more. So we need to start creating and knowing ways that we can communicate with each other. And I tell you something else. When the cell phones go down and everything goes out tomorrow, you all aren't going to know nobody's phone number. You're not going to know nobody's phone number or nobody's address. You all need to write those things down out of your phone book, excuse me, and put them in your safe. You don't know nobody's phone number. You don't know nobody's address. You know what we have in our car under our mats in the back of the car? We got atlases. We got original maps that show us each state and each city and each secondary and third road, in addition to the highway, so we can get from point A to point B like people used to do. Back when they had CB radios, every car also had a map or atlas in there. Go back to buying your maps and atlas, people. It'll tell you, when you read that, how long it'll take you to walk to get from Florida to North Carolina. It tells you that. It tells you the best route to take. Okay. So those things are simple things that we need to take advantage of. Okay. Anybody, any more hands? And then, so now I want to hear from someone. I want some testimonies, if you guys don't mind, because we're going to give you plenty of resources and all those fun things. You can go to our website, therearepeople.org, go into our store there, and there's a lot of free goodies in there that you need to download. They'll see $0 on there. Anything else you see you need to buy it. I got it for you there. But do that. But at the same time, we have vetting guides in there, how you vet people that want to live on your property and how you vet the property owner. So the people that want to live on somebody else's property gets to vet them as well. So we laid out all the kind of pamphlets and stuff like that in our store site for you guys to take a look at. And then you'll be looking at Healing Proper LLC, or our Healing Proper site, healingproper.org, healing your body spiritually, physically, and financially. And you'll see the courses and the schools we got coming up. And you'll see there's a grant writing access we got there when you match up with our grant writers to see how to take you to that next level. That's on that site. And God is just in the blessing business. But right now, I want to hear from some testimonies from people that's been blessed by country living or being in the country, so you can share that with somebody else, because we had people that said they want to hear the testimonies of people who are successful in the country. And we're just claiming the victory through God, because we haven't went one day being hungry. We haven't went one day without shelter, because God provided for us. But don't take my word for it. So let's get some hands up, or even if you have a need, let's go ahead and get some hands up. But let's get a few testimonies in here on what God is doing for people right now, if you don't mind. And now it's open. So give me some hands. Help me, team. Look in the chat as well to see if there's anybody there. I should see a hand up. Anybody don't know how to use their hand? iPhone says, I'm overwhelmed. In a good way, I hope. I hope this has been a blessing to you, iPhone. You overwhelmed. I hope in a good way. We don't want you to be overwhelmed where it causes confusion. I can slow down. As you guys see, I rarely do, because I'm always in a hurry to get what my people need, and I want to make sure I can get it to you all before we run out of time. But God has provided a way, and we got so much for you that, that we want to get that to you. That's my sister. Oh, y'all in trouble now. Here comes Kira. Now, y'all know Kara carry a lot of knives. She's done a backpack. She's done a video on backpack survival, how to build your to-go bag. And she unpacked that to-go bag. And Kara, I don't know if we got up to 7 knives or 13 knives, but you pulled a lot of knives out of that to-go bag. Go ahead, my sister.
Hey, good evening, Brother Kevin, and God bless everybody.
God bless you, sister.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a short testimony about being in the country. I wasn't prepared to go to the country because I didn't have a property, but the Lord saw different, and He actually put me in a place. So it can happen to anyone. I did not have money to purchase this place, to really even move here or anything like that, but by His mercy and His grace, like I said, He has supplied a place for myself, and by His mercy, my daughter will be back here with me. But yeah, so I just wanted to say how the country has helped me. I have a great fear of snakes. And when I was in Tennessee, I had to kill quite a few. And then now here in Georgia, I just actually had another encounter. So I actually got to use my machete and chop this snake's head off. It was about 3 feet long, and he was trying to eat the birds
Oh
in the
my
seed.
goodness.
And God has given me, I'm still scared of him, but if it's either me or the snake, I decided it was going to be the snake. And yeah, so I was able to kill this snake. And as he was trying to eat the little birds, I killed him, threw him in the back, and then the big birds, the big old turkey buzzard, whatever those things are called, turkey vultures, they came swarming around. They came swooped down, and then they got him. So he met his match. But yeah, being in the country, it's nice because it's not that hustle and bustle running, like you say, going to the store every day because you're like, oh, I forgot this. I can just run there so simply or so easily, so quickly, um, back and forth. It is a lot of planning ahead, looking at what you have, what you need, and trying to, um, I'd say, at least have something for at least if you can go there once a week, that's good. But going to the store maybe once every other week, that's even better. That's one of the things that my daughter, when she's back with me, that's what we do. We try to go every other week to the store. So it does help you manage your time, helps you manage money. It helps you plan out a lot better, puts a lot of order in your, I guess, your day, God wants us, He orders our steps. The Lord orders the steps of a good man. So um, I find that to be a blessing. And then it's also so much more quiet. You don't hear the sirens, you don't hear the cars zooming, you don't hear a lot of chitter chatter, you just hear birds chirping. So um, the Lord has a place for each and every one of us that are faithful. So I just, you know, tell people just be faithful. The Lord has a place. Like I said, I was not expecting to be swooped off into the country at the time I was. The same thing may happen to you. So just be ready, just be preparing wherever you are right now, because you never know when the Lord is going to call you out to do whatever work He has for you once you get there. That's all I wanted to share.
Thank you, my sister. God bless you. That's my sister Kara, y'all. But listen, she sent us the picture of this snake, and the snake's hanging there from the tree, grabbing birds. And then she comes up with like one of those movies, the back in the day, The Shining, and she brought that machete up in the camera, and we was like, uh-oh. So she got her courage together, and she took on that snake. Because listen, somebody just put in the chat, Kara, that snake tongs helped you capture the snake without getting too close. A machete helps you capture him too without getting too close. By the way, because the Bible says, bruise your heel with his head. And so we had one showed up, his little red belly, something. It wasn't a garden snake, so I had never seen that species before. And my wife saw it, and my wife, but she thought, there he is. There he is. I got on that head immediately. I ran over there, and I just wouldn't stop till he was through. So Kira, we got him. But then you find out like they say this is gentle, that's gentle. I will not trust a snake, even a garden snake. I will not trust a snake because the Bible says so. I'm taking him out. So God bless you. Thank you, Kira. Okay, I see 3 hands up. Let's start with Patrick, then Rick, then Kate. So Patrick.
Yeah, I'm open now. Listen to this.
Yes.
There is something that you can do when it comes to snake. I was reading, you're talking about downloading videos, right? I
Yes.
was reading how the Africans used to ward off snake. And they plant snake plants around their borders. Snake plant, the same indoor plants that help purify the oxygen saturation in your home. Right. That snake plant, and it is as medicinal properties. So going from that to medicinal properties, it is important that we get the mindset right. The mindset has to be start to pack, because remember, God lead us from point to point.
Yes.
So start to pack and tell the Lord that you're serious. So realize that you're serious. He start to lead you from point to point. And then for those who are in the cities, you can start planting your herbs, your various herbs for the immunity, for your system cleanse, and all of that. I think that is a way forward, because when you reach the country now, you can plant them into your, kitchen garden, and
Sure.
etc. etc. So I think that I would share that, because those are tools that you can use to be helpful. Don't wait until you are there to start to plant. Start to plant here in the city, and then do what you have to do. And I pause.
Appreciate that. So I will tell you all this. He said start planting early. So any of you want to start planting early, you can come plant on our land and then go on back to the city if that's what you want to do. So come on down and plant. But thank you, brother. I had not heard of a snake plant, and I don't even think I want to go ask for one, but I would like to know what those are, what they called here, what are they called here, and then what that, the things it does. A snake plant is my first time hearing of that. So someone can look that up and put that link in the chat. That would be helpful if it wards off snakes. But keeping your grass cut also wards off snakes. Keeping your grass real low because they don't like the burning of the sun, really. Some of them like the warmth to the sun, but they like crawling through that tall grass. So you want to get that taken care of as well. But the snake plants, I want to know about them in the U.S. Okay? Thank you, Patrick. The next one is Rick, R-I-C. I see you. Go ahead.
All right, all right. Hi, everyone. I just want to give a little uh, testimony. I live in Texas. I don't live in the city. No, I live in the country. Country. I kind of in between. I have about an acre and a half. So we plan on moving out because we have some restrictions. So I just want to share that what I did. Because Texas growing food. I'm from the Caribbean, so growing food in Texas is different. You have to actually the soil is not that good. So what I've learned, I started doing things on a miniature scale. So I have about 5, 6 raised beds. And for the last 2 years, I've been planting during the summer my tomatoes, peppers, okra, learn how to do those things, watermelon and cucumbers. And now I have a very good idea because now I've been practicing and learning how to go on YouTube, watch videos, and see how people do things, how to amend the soil, do compost in a couple of bins. And also, I just learned how to do liquid compost, how to amend your soil. And also, I have a notebook I write of things I would need for because we plan on moving out. So I have a notebook of I have inventory of things I would need and how to buy them. For example, rainwater catchment. I have diagrams of how to connect it. I have things like a generator, a solar generator, seeds, and a whole bunch of stuff because sometimes you forget. So you want to keep all those things in a notebook, in an inventory file, So it's been working, and I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to in the last 2 years learning how to grow food. So when I move out, I could do things on a bigger scale because I already have the idea of how to do things. So this I wanted to share that that's something we could start thinking about. No matter where you are, and I agree with Patrick, even though you're living in the city, you could start very small in your patio and learn how to grow a tomato. If it doesn't grow, that means you did something wrong. Try again next season. Now the fall, America has a few seasons. So now the fall is coming up now for my greens, my lettuce, my kale, my bok choy, my beets, carrots, and celery, and also all my herbs. So I've learned how to do all of those things now on a small scale. So I just wanted to share that we could start small and have the idea. So when you go out there, all you got to do is put it on a bigger scale, and depends on the size of your family. And of course, I had so much okra. Let me give you a testimony. I had so much okra. I only had 5 trees of okra, just five. I had the burgundy okra and also the green okra. I had to give all my neighbors because okra every day was just popping up. I brought some to work and we have in the freezer, I freeze some. So I had a lot of okra just in 5 trees. Just imagine I had about 10 trees. So I just wanted to share that little bit of information out there. All right, thank you.
What area are you in, Rick?
I'm in Broward, Texas, which is on the
Okay.
outskirts of San Antonio. Yeah, in the
Well, there you
south.
go. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. And I agree with that. Start planting now. Just because you're in a city, if you have not yet made it to the rural areas, there's things you can be practicing and getting ready because we did it. We started storing stuff. I started storing, and then I started storing. I was even going to the yard sales and the garage sales because they had a lot of old hand saws, crowbars, tools, hand tools. The old hand crank drills and all those stuff, and they were for $1. And I was grabbing them because I was thinking in advance for when there's no power. And then I was thinking that these things, even though they're hand saws that you usually use by hand and the hand drills and all the things, I was thinking there was a point where those didn't even exist. So if we get those now, and there comes a time where we need them, and the fancy electric one is no good, you're gonna go back to a time where those things don't exist. But you have the old hand. You're ahead of the game. So think about that. So start collecting some things. I'm not saying hoard and blow all your money, but I'm saying some things you see, you can go ahead and jump all on. Thank you so much. Kay, I see you. Kay, then Nicole.
Yes, so that's it. That's really true. But you asked for the flowers. The snake plant, another name for it here is mother-in-law tongue. So there's a picture in there. Someone put the picture in the chat. That's a mother-in-law tongue. That is also, and there's another plant someone told me this week about for snake, but it won't come to me now. But I'll try and remember that one.
Okay.
And
So this one detours the snake, Kay. This one keeps the snake away.
Well, that's what Patrick says. I'm not aware of it.
Okay.
But I know it is common in the basically in the rural areas. So you may have them up there. It should be more outdoor plant. Otherwise, you can go get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, and it's a lot. But in the island, we said it's free and it's cheap. You don't have to buy anything. Just go get them from the bush and bring them, around your property. So that would be good if that is what it says. I've never heard about it, but if he says it, then I just want to go with what he says. So
thank you.
Yeah. So otherwise, from that, I have been to the country, and as the sister said, it is a breath of fresh air. It is so peaceful. You just enjoy listening to the birds, and I enjoy, getting in the garden. And I am, I'm dying for that because that's where you find character building. You have no time for the business in the city. And as I said, going to the city to buy grocery or whatever you need.
Yes.
I do that once a month. I don't, some people get every other week. No, I just get these, whatever you need, because the main thing that you need, if you don't plan it, then you know what to do. So try to plan what we need. And for you talking about the tools that you're having, yes, we're going to need those old tools that we use manually. And again, we can also barter those with, people that doesn't have things, what they have. So the barter system is going to come in handy for it. So, likewise, it's wise to get those. And that price $1 is good. Maybe I should ask to get me some and send it for me.
Yeah, I've gathered a lot of things. My daughter, and matter of fact, that's another thing. When we were at our country property here, and my daughter and I, my 9-year-old, we were coming up the road, and there was a house. There was a sign in front of this house that says everything free. It literally said that. You know how you got garage sale, yard sale, and unbelievable, because they had a loader truck, they had a big dumpster, and the people were bringing everything up to the front of the field in front of the house to give away. And I mean, there was tools, wrenches, crowbars. I mean, I'm like, are you sure all this is free? They're like, absolutely. But it was amazing. So, they would give all the people give away tools. And then the one lady who had lost her husband, and she didn't have in the city, she didn't have a need for the tools. And I'm picking up snowblowers. She gave me 2 snowblowers, literally. I'm picking up stuff. So those things now we need for where we are now, because we're north, we're up in the mountains. So that's key. So thank you, my sister.
You're welcome.
And but one thing you said I disagree with.
What?
You said I'm dying to get to the country. No, you're living to get to the country. I don't want you to get to the country and die. I'm dying to get there. So I'm living to get to the country. So you can't wait. You're excited.
Technically not that word. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Nicole, then I see my sister Kara, then Vicky, and then I see it says Peak Family. So let's go with Nicole.
Hi, Brother Kevin.
Hi, my sister.
We have talked before. I've been with you from the beginning.
Way back in the day.
From the very beginning when you first
started.
Good to hear from you. So, and I was the one that talked to you about only having $800 to find a property.
Talked about you so often.
And you know what? I actually pulled back for a while because I got a little overwhelmed with everything, and I just took some time.
Take it. Wait, hold on. Stop. We just lost your audio. Go. Start over.
I'm sorry.
Said you get. Okay. You said you did something.
Oh, let me try and get my volume back again.
It's good now. You say you pulled back for a while. That's all we heard.
Yeah, I pulled back just for a minute because I figured, you know what, Lord, I need to really get in touch with you so that I know where I'm looking and what I'm doing, because I
Sure.
felt like I had a ton of information, but I didn't know what to do with it. And so it's so interesting because I did a 40-day fast, just praying and fasting, and just talking with the Lord. And towards the end of that fast, I volunteered to go and help at the Present Truth camp meeting. It was a religious liberty camp meeting. And for a while, I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to be able to go. Long story short, I went, but I asked the Lord for two things. I said, at this camp meeting, put me in touch with somebody that's going to verify that I'm looking in the right place. And do you know, he did just that. And he put me in touch not only with the people who are helping me now to look in certain areas in my location, but he also showed me a church that's Present Truth and where people are trying to do the work. So now I've got a location, two locations to zero in on. And then I just wanted to share one more thing as far as preparation for country living. Instead of buying different, I have seeds. I've been collecting seeds, but I decided to go to the farmer's market and just try different produce, organic produce, to see what I liked and to just experiment. And I took the seeds from some heirloom tomatoes, saved them, and then planted some. And now I've got, because I wanted to experiment in different temperature to try and make them temperature strong, as opposed to see if they could just adapt to the temperature change, which they're doing, which means that I'll collect those seeds and save them, and they'll be a little more adaptable for the next time I plant. So I just thought that was a good idea for anyone. If you have a farmer's market near you, and instead of buying certain seeds, you can go and buy the actual vegetables or fruit, save the seed, plant some of them, and collect from that as well. And it's also a chance to start thinking towards if you want to start possibly saving seed as a way of gathering them and starting to sell them down the road. So
It's a
I just
business.
wanted to play with certain things in preparation.
Now, do you still have your $800?
I have more now.
That's what I'm talking about. See, our God is awesome. So, y'all, she when she said she had $800, I said that's just all you need. That's exactly what you need, and just get busy. So God blessed you, and I'm glad of that. But that's more than enough to go to the auctions. Believe it or not, still use the auctions. Don't sleep, but don't sleep.
Amen.
Because you can start with a credit property that nobody wants. You can get it for $800 and flip it in 2 seconds for 15,000. Depends on what you do to it. So don't sleep that. So God bless you. Thank you for reaching out. Good to hear from you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
wasn't
All
far.
right. All right. Kara, your turn. Kara, my other sister. Kara, you there? Kara, the snake hunter.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute my phone. No, I just wanted to I just wanted to add this too, to everybody is even if you are in the city, like you know, you're saying stock up, get things. Yeah, be canning foods because that's what I did. I mean, I was in the heart of Fort Myers. I said, Lord, you're gonna get me out of here. You're gonna get Isabella and I out of here. And I just canned a lot of foods. I bought a little extra beans every time I went to the store. And when we did get out of the city, even though I had to leave my stuff there for a while, but he gave it all back to me. I had about 200 pounds of rice. I had, I don't know, about 125 pounds of beans. And I mean, pasta sauce, all kinds of stuff, spices and things. So just save up and do what you can right now because the Lord is going to definitely make a way for you. And like I said, and you won't even realize it. That's the reason I couldn't bring all my stuff with me because my situation of what happened. But he made a way where I was able to go and retrieve all the items that I had there. So yeah, just keep your faith and he's got you. I know people say that, oh, God's got you. In this instance, when you work for him and you do for him, he will have you. And yeah, I just wanted to encourage people with that.
Thank you, my sister. And she's right. And then, so you guys, when you buy organic fruits and or vegetables, save the seeds. because they both spoke something key there, that you can grow your own vegetables and then you can grow them as a business to sell as well. So save your seeds from organic vegetables that you buy. You normally throw them away. If you got an organic cantaloupe or watermelon or things like that. And then real quick before I go to Vicky, someone put a something in the chat that says order fruit or buy seeds that doesn't look like food. I need an explanation on what you mean. Plant something that doesn't look like food. So give an explanation what that means in the chat so we can get back to it. Okay, or put your hand up so you can tell us what that means. Okay, go ahead, Vicky.
I was actually trying to research something real quick because
Okay.
I got stuck there. I got a snake plant in my window, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, wait a minute, what did I buy that snake plant? And I looked it up real quick, and I remembered it is a great air purifier. It
That's
also,
what he said.
yep, and it releases oxygen at night. It's
Okay.
it's a great stress reliever, and it is effective towards allergies. Uh, it
Wonderful.
it relieves minor physical ailments, and there are several. And then as far as the snakes, it didn't say anything, but when I did pull up the snake, it said that lavender is good for warding off snakes. Marigolds, rosemary, lemongrass, onion, and garlic. If you have those in your yard as well.
There you go. There you go. Thank you so much. So that y'all got some key inside information. But that snake plant now does sound interesting with all the things that it do. So man, thank y'all. So see, we learn new every day. What I'm talking about. Thank you, Vicky. All right, I see the Pete family, then I see Patrick. Pete, P-E-A-T, Pete family, unmute for me. Take your time. If not, Patrick gonna get you. Go ahead, Patrick, and when they unmute, we'll go back to them.
Not a problem. Listen to this now. When you are in the country, you're going to need minerals and vitamins to support your physical body. In Jamaica, we have a tree that's called moringa plant. That is like a mineral and vitamin tree. And there's also something that I don't know if people think about it. Um, Salt. You can plant salt. That is one thing you need to have because it has trace minerals. And remember, the older you get, your body need trace minerals because your digestive situation is not dealing with it as you get older. So I was just saying, when you're thinking about certain things, um, you need to prepare that you can have some basic, because at one stage in history, salt was a means of bartering, and it goes without saying, even oil, so I thought that came across, so I think I would share that, and I pause.
Thank you. Yeah, having those things in bulk, like I got on my property because I used to have a store called 60% below retail. We were able to get scratch and dent appliances. We were catching stores going out of business and buy all their clothes. And I was selling things for 60% below. And then we get companies that's closing up and we get all that stuff. So one thing came through our warehouse was two 55-gallon drums of Gojo body wash. You know, Gojo makes the hand cleaner. They also make a body wash. And I said, get 2 55 gallons. I said, you know what? I'm not selling that. I'm keeping that. So on my country property, and I can't move them anymore because they're so big. So I got two big 55-gallon drums of body wash, and I can bottle that up and market that, all kinds of things, or use it for ourselves. But those are some things that you stock up on that you want to have, and like that's marketable.
Hey,
Because who's going to have that?
Kevin,
Yes,
there's, sorry to interrupt you. There was something else I wanted to say. Ashes, that is the white stuff off the wood burner.
sure.
That is a good preservative for your seeds to plant. You can just mix it with your seeds because the bugs would always want to get to your seeds.
Oh, I got you. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to in other words, we have to go back to primitive godliness.
Yes.
And what I do when I go witnessing, I ask the individuals, because you talk about body wash. In World War II, they use ackee, the pad of the ackee, to soap up and wash the clothing.
There you go.
So so these things we have to understand how we can use the natural things that is at our fingertips and buy what is essential, because it's not if the crisis is going to reach us. And I pause.
Correct. Correct. I agree with you. I agree. Yeah, I'd rather be buying bottles to store stuff in sometimes than buying some of the stuff they have in the store. We can create our own stuff. But God has already created, I should say. So thank you for that insight. Kay, before I go to you, let's see if Pete family can get their hand down now. There we go.
Hi,
Hey,
Renee.
hey, Renee. How are you?
I'm good. It's my first meeting with you
Welcome.
guys, and maybe I missed most of the discussion before because I joined in late, I guess. But I just was curious, and since I got the opportunity to talk to you finally, so I'm in Canada, Ontario, and I was just wondering if you had like any links in terms of people like that help over here in Canada. Do you guys work with people over here in Canada?
Really, Renee? Really, Renee? Part of our team is in Canada. Don't you know Trudy and Nicosia is in Canada? No, I'm just messing with you. Yes, ma'am, we do. Absolutely. When we speak every day and anything you see, it's always Canada, Jamaica, and the UK because we've got people right there. But part of our team, our sister Trudy and our sister Nicosia are in Canada from There Are People Ministries. So absolutely. So put your information in the chat and we'll make sure we match up with you, my sister. We got you.
Okay.
And okay. It says somebody says just joined and he talked to Brother Kevin and I need help in finding a place. Somebody. So yes, ma'am, we got you in Canada. We got you. Make sure you put your information in the chat and we'll have somebody match you up.
Okay.
And this
All right.
will be
So
recorded
and
too.
sorry, for information, just like my name, phone number.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
will be recorded. This will be recorded so you can watch it later as well, my sister.
Okay.
It'll
All
be
right,
posted
thank
on
you.
the site. You're welcome. Our site is therearepeople.org. It'll be posted so you can watch it. It's gonna have a lot of goodies in there. Okay. All right, my sister Kay.
All right.
So interesting also is how do we store the things that we're buying in bulk? For example, our rice. How do you store your rice? How would you store your cornmeal and your beans? I don't know if a lot of people have the ways, but we were taught in order to store your rice, which is like the brown rice, it's best to put it in the oven at 175 temperature and do it for 2 hours. So like every half an hour, you turn it over to get like a baking salad, like a thing like. And especially for the brown rice, that people say tastes so yucky. When you do that, that taste is gone, and it's so fluffy and nice. So there are a lot of things that I'm not sure if you had gone over it before, but the same you do with your cornmeal, and that can last long. You won't have no bugs. You don't have to put it in the refrigerator. You can just keep it stored outdoor in a container dry, and that can last for over 5 years and more.
No, that I
Just
do know.
like,
Thank you.
yeah, just like put it in the oven. So these are things that, because sometimes it's costly to put everything into these containers. So that's one way which we were introduced to. And I've tried it and I have no issue with, bugs anymore. But without that, you have bugs if you don't put it into these, expensive containers that are there for people who can afford it. But for those who can, more power.
Yeah, we put ours in. We bought the galvanized trash cans with a lid on it. And we stored ours there. We had the full bags that we never opened with the beans and the meal and the corn, the rice, same thing. And we put them there and then we taped the lids, we sealed them, and then we kept them cool and dry in the basement. And then as we moved them to our country property in the shed outside. And they survived winter and everything because they didn't build up any kind of moisture because there's no moisture around associated with it, those kinds of things. So, but we did put them in the 55-gallon pail because you put them in something plastic, something eventually may eat through it. And our non-perishables, like the stuff we got from like Dollar General, we put those in a big, giant trash cans we got from the big box store with the lids on them. And tuck that stuff away. But all of our food and beans and rice and things we put in those. And we did the same thing with the large cans. But yeah, it's easy they're not that hard to store. But it's my first time hearing about the rice putting that in the oven and flipping that. So you might, get to put together a few more remedies and come on the show and share some of those things.
Right, and that's mainly, as I said, Brother Fuller, for you in the north, it's easy for you in the cellar, but for those who are in the island or in the the humidity, in the Caribbean, that's what the best way to do the rice.
There you go.
So that's very good to know.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Patrick.
Yeah. Okay. So there are some basic things that we understand. What we do old school, modern times talk about mylar bag or mailer bag, depends on how you pronounce it, with oxygen absorber. Now, bugs cannot live in where there's no oxygen.
Correct.
So we used to have the candle, not the scented one, plain candle, and we put it in a jar. Then we have some herbs like neem, which is an insect repellent, bay leaf, which is an insect repellent, cayenne pepper, which is harsh for insect. These are just backup because I realize that Satan is a medical missionary and God's remnant people are gospel medical missionaries. So he will want to counterfeit everything. So what I do is get the candle in like those glass jars.
Yes.
And then and mingle my bay leaf, neem, and cayenne. That is just like a double protection or a triple protection. Then light the candle, have the rim around the BPA-free containers, and then close it down. You can't have it too close to the top because I learned the hard way on one of the bucket lids. You're going to carry the candle deep down into it. That's when it's sucking the oxygen. It goes dead after about a minute or two. So no oxygen will be there. No life can live in a medium like that. And just in case something happen, we have the backup with the cayenne, the bay leaf, and the neem. And I pause.
We got a lot of insight. And somebody said bay leaf, which I heard you say. So there's a lot of things in the chat. You also check with that. All right. My sister Kara.
Yeah, Brother Patrick kind of hit on what I was about to say, because I use Mylar bags, and I mean, if you get those food grade, buckets, you can. Those are a little expensive, but I get Mylar bags and with the oxygen absorbers, and I get the various sizes. There's like 5 gallon, and there's 1 gallon, and then they have like the smaller little ounce ones. And for a 5 gallon Mylar bag, I'm able to put at least 25 pounds of rice in there, or beans, whichever one. And I haven't had any issues with any bugs. And then I do also put bay leaves and like some kind of dried pepper or something inside of there to just make sure that there is nothing, if anything was in there, that it would die off. Because I did have bags where I left them in their bag, which I thought was going to be secure. And I actually had to throw away a whole 25-pound bag of rice and a bunch of my chickpeas because I did not put them in Mylar bags. And I think they're bean weevils and rice weevils, something. They came and infested so much of my stuff. But yeah, I use the Mylars. I have no issues. I put my flowers in there. The white flour, unfortunately, holds better than the wheat flour. And then I have white and brown rice, and the white rice lasts longer than, of course, the brown rice, even though I love brown rice. But yeah, that's what I use. And they're not expensive. I get them off of Amazon, or you can go on like the USDA website and get a lot of those things also.
Oh, thank you, Brother Patrick, before I go back to you, Sister Verrett, make sure you're there. I'm gonna need to hear from you if you're on here. And then Brother Chris Briss, get ready. We want to talk about your book a little bit, okay? So let me know if you guys are there. Get your hands in there. My Sister Verrett, her husband got that deep bass voice, y'all. She be getting on. She's like, don't bass me, don't bass me. But if you're here, we want to hear from you. They were on the other day. She's got something for us as well. And then Sister Verrett, and then Brother Chris. Chris, you still here? Okay, well, so hopefully he gets back on here. Okay, go ahead, Patrick.
Okay, all right. You see, your body need fat, carbohydrates, protein, and that's important. So you see those who are using the white rice, we're going to need some fiber. So you have to learn to identify herbs. And one herb that is very important to identify is plantain. And it is basically loaded with fiber. It's basically where the origin of psyllium husk is. So when you cook your white rice, because it tend to store better than the brown rice, other than what Sister K said, that when you toast your grains for several hours, which is 2 or 3 hours thereabout, it will keep up. So if you're keeping white rice, you have to back it up with some fiber when you cook it. And I pause.
What I'm gonna need you to do, Brother Patrick, is start making preparations to move to Wisconsin. And I pause. Okay, we're gonna need your help up here. God bless you. So, man, listen, I'm thank you for everybody that participated. This is an awesome Zoom. So this is recorded so you guys can get this. Please go to our website and watch grants 1 through 4. Grant 5 is coming, and for everybody, this is business opportunity for you. You can quit your job once you have this grant. This becomes your new job. There is money out there. We don't have a lot of time. We know our God is coming soon. We know that. And then we also know he's coming for our ready people. So don't get a $1.2 billion grant or a $10 million grant and think you're higher than God. Let's continue to put God first in everything that we do.
Mercy.
Let's continue to help and support each other in every way we can. I see you, Chris Smith. How you doing, brother? Everything good? Put thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, so listen, there you go. So let's put God first in everything that we do. We got a lot of things coming up. We want to be able to be a blessing for everybody. If you guys, we want to be able to have testimony service. We want to hear good, positive stories. We want to help everyone in the country. Okay, so if you need help with grants, anybody need help writing, we got people that do that. Reach out to us. You guys got a way to reach us. I still got to follow up on my sister that does the training for the dogs. I got information for you. If you guys have not set up a meeting with me or a consult, if you set up one and we got to go to the next level, reach out to me. Or if you need one, we got a lot of good resources, because not all of these grants you have to go through the government for. Some of these grants we got, you literally go right through the philanthropists or the named foundations, which are less strenuous in a lot of ways. So there's a lot out here that we can help you with. So reach out. If you need a consultant, hit me up. Hit my sister up, Nicosia, our team members, Kay, Devontae Watkins and Kay Watkins. In addition to being a medical missionary, they also have the credit repair, and it's awesome. They show you how to do these things. So there's a lot going on that we can assist you with. And then our sisters Trudy and Nicosia in Canada work with everybody for Jamaica, the UK as well. I'll be speaking with the UK. I'll get that date for you all. But if you guys need particulars and specifics, email those to us. Hit us up on WhatsApp and to our WhatsApp group. Hey, everybody, I got something coming for you. So let's keep in touch and start being a blessing for each other. And then I saw somebody there from San Diego. Welcome, San Diego. That's where my sister-in-law, my brother that passed away, his family's there in San Diego, Chula Vista. But you just reach out for whatever you guys need. It's time for us to come together and support each other. We just really do need to do that. Okay, so I see Patrick, I see Kay, then I see Joy. So let's go real quick in that order. Patrick, you done or you got something else?
No,
Okay.
I pause.
Thank you,
Sorry.
sir. I saw your hand was still up. Okay, go ahead, Sister Kay.
Okay, what I was trying to find out with the grants, is that grant only in Canada England and the state USA. What about the islands? Do the grants
Yes. Oh no. Everything I do, I do for the islands, for the UK, Canada, and America. So Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, I got grants. I put that out there. They're there. And if you
okay.
got family, and if you got family here in the States, it's a double
Mhm.
whammy because you being in Jamaica can still apply for, you with through your family, you guys can get grants going here, and then your checks or proceeds from that, your salary can go back to Jamaica and mean a whole lot. So don't sleep the ways we show you how to do things. There's some good things out there you can do.
Okay, so I spoke to you today. I haven't heard from Sister Nicosia.
Yes.
So that's the contact that
They're
has
busy.
his
They
number.
do got something going on right now. I found that out today, even with them being on the Zoom tonight. But it won't be long. You will hear from her, my sister. Put your information in the chat, and the other K will get your information. And we already shared your information with Nicosia as well, and then the WhatsApp information we gave to you. So it's just a matter of time. You guys will match up very shortly.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I see Joy.
Hi, good evening, Brother Kevin.
Hey, my sister.
I signed up to have a one-on-one with you, but I did not get a response as to when you will be available.
Because you didn't do the consult. I think you did. You did one where you signed up for us to participate somewhere. That was different. That's something that you signed up for me to
No,
go
no,
somewhere.
I signed up today to have a consult, but they said you will get a response back.
No, the one I specifically remember. I'm with you. I'm on your side. If you did that, you would hear from me. But no, you signed
Okay.
up for me to be somewhere to go. That's a different area for speaking engagement. So
Okay.
just go. You'll see the consult on the consult button when you go to the consult tab. You'll see that. For me, you can book Kevin.
Okay.
Not a problem. Okay. And then what's on your mind? You right here, right now. What you talking about? What you got going on?
Oh, well, it was just
No.
for grants,
Yeah.
the information on grants.
Sure. Watch
It's
those
starting like
episodes.
a business.
Please watch those 4 episodes. There is so much there. You're gonna get joy because there's so much there. And again, the complete instructions from A to Z are there. So if you never heard anything from me, again, we want you to continue to hear from me. But there's a lot there that you can do on your own. And that's how I did these. Not only, Joy, can you do that on your own, you have all my permission to go ahead and teach that and share that as if you wrote it and add to it and take away from it what you will. And I want you all to share what's there because that's a lot of good information that's there that we put together through the grace of God. And then episode 5, it goes up to $1.6 billion. And it doesn't mean a hill of beans if you guys don't think you can do nothing with it. Please, if you're just sitting here, at least watch it and attempt to do something. And it tells you what to do for the very next week. It even gives you a week by week chart that you can follow to make things materialize. So please do something, okay? So don't sleep the grants. I put those together so you guys wouldn't sleep it. Also, we're going to launch a book, not a book club, because I don't want anybody to be required to have to buy the book, but my book, Country Living, Just About Everything, Including God, More Than a Guidebook. It'll be it'll be in the chat. We're getting ready to start going through chapter by chapter. It's 42 chapters. We're ready to start going through chapter by chapter. So I would like to get somebody that can volunteer to read some of the chapters. I'd like to get somebody so we can start sharing that. And we're going to do some YouTube posts and we're going to do some on the Zoom. And that's going to keep us busy for a while because there's so many resources in this book that I want you all to have. And then as you look at those chapters, of course, everybody have their own different ideas and versions and other things we can add. So we're going to start that this very next week with the book Country Living, Just About Everything, Including God, More Than a Guidebook. And then so you guys will have these grants and keep the grants in mind as you decide, I want a different job, or I want to do this, or I want to start this kind of business, or I want to grow stuff in the garden, or I want to do green tubes, or I want to have all my own, I got 15 acres and I want to sell to the government, all that stuff. This works for any idea that you have. If I want to do a school, I want to train people, I don't know how, I want to do medical missionary. Get up with me, let's match up, and I'll show you how to get those things flowing. You spend money. You spend money on 2 things, honestly. You spend, just as me being honest, you spend money on 2 things. If you need a consultant, you're going to book a consultant. If you need a grant writer, you're going to get a grant writer, just like you would anything. If you need a lawyer because you got in trouble, you got to hire a lawyer. Those kinds of things. That's what you spend money on. But you're doing it, in this case, to make a gazillion times more than that. So consider that, because when you start to put together a board to structure a board. We show you how to do that. We show you how to bring people on without you having to pay them right off the bat because they see what they're going to get. We show you how to get resumes from people. We show you how to get your NDAs or non-disclosure forms before you discuss what you're going to do with people. We show you everything about what you get ready to do, to include marketing, advertisement, and matching up with big brothers and all those companies, showing you your legals and how to get the insurance and the accountants and everybody on your legal on board, show you all of that. And it's just awesome because now not only do you qualify for these grants, you don't go in blind. You go in knowing what it is you're going to do. You go in knowing what they want, because you do not push a button till you make sure you're 1,000% compliant with what they're asking for in the grant. So as you register with the websites, which are all free, you never pay to register with a grant site. You should never have to. It's not legitimate if you have to pay. Once you register with it, and then you start, we'll show you how to look up and research the right grant for what you're trying to do. Once you find that grant, you'll see the criteria, and you'll make sure you're compliant with the criteria. Every single line, every name must be there in the right place. Every T must be dotted. Every I must be, or is it T that's dotted? Nope, the I is dotted and the T is crossed. See, my grant was already messed up. So make sure that you do those things. And then you'll know you'll know what they're looking for, because we're going to show you how to find what they're looking for and have that available. And then you'll know that you have to get 3 quotes or 3 bids on anything that you're looking to offer and or sell through these grants. So say if I want to build a nursery where I grow microgreens and all those kinds of things, as I buy the building or the land or the green tubes and the tractors and the equipment and the seeds, everything I'm going to buy in bulk, I need to get at least 3 bids from contractors, from sellers, from wholesalers or resellers. I need to get at least 3. And that's if I'm selling to the military and it's a $1.6 billion contract. Same thing. If I want to do mobile vans to take old people around, if I want to do Meals on Wheels, same thing. I got to get 3 different bids from 3 different suppliers for the food, for the trays, for the spoons, for the cups, for the vehicles, for the gas, whatever I'm ordering. And they want to know that you have all that. Put everything in order, and then tell them who you're serving, how you see it being, and then at the end what it looks like, and you're good to go. Okay, so we make sure we walk you through that. So thank you guys. Anybody got anything else before we pray? And we pray. We can stick around a few minutes, but anybody got anything else real quick before we pray? And then I'll let you go. I won't keep you too long. Okay, go ahead, Patrick.
Did I hear you say something that you have grants for like Jamaica?
Yes, of course. What do you mean? Do you want me to use my accent? I got the Jamaican accent too. I don't know how to use it though. Not yet. But yes.
I hear you.
Okay.
All right. So we have to link up then.
No, so you have to come to Wisconsin. I already told you. I put that out already.
Hey, Uncle Trump, you see, is $80,000 to get a visa. I don't renew my one. So
it's cousin Trump, and he'll take care of you. Don't worry about him.
we'll talk. We'll definitely have to talk. All right then.
But you know what? Do you have family here?
Yeah, man.
Okay, then that's who. But you don't have your visa yet, right?
We have visa, but I didn't want to travel again. We just abandoned traveling.
Correct. So what you're going to do, just listen to me clearly. You're going to match up with family that's here as you start to do a business and apply for a grant. And then you're going to have a particular job in that grant where you don't have to necessarily be the person to apply for that. So that gives you your $80,000 for what you call him, Uncle Trump, Uncle Donald, so that you can take care of Uncle Donald.
Okay.
Okay. So if you get $80,000 and all you think about is Uncle Donald, something wrong with you.
No, I'm trying to move to the country. That is what I'm. So I was just focused there. So
I got you.
So I just leave him alone to do what he has to do because he's fulfilling prophecy, and I do what I have to do to relieve stress and oppression to a dying world.
Sure, take him before God, brother. Cast your cares. Nicole.
Right, good. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Sister Nicole.
Yes. Did you? I mean, I think I did hear you correctly. You said that there are a list of different jobs or careers or whatever that you have that for the various different grants. I mean, am I hearing that correctly?
You are hearing that correctly, Nicole, and this is my television voice right now. There is a list of grants, a list of jobs and businesses that you can start and or companies that you can partner with, and that's on all the episodes there. And then I can also add more to that as we start to talk and consult. And then with episode 5, it's going to be so impressive that it's going to be big. And the reason why I keep telling you guys that I haven't done it yet, I'm going to do it Tuesday, is that I don't want it to go over your head for you guys to think that 1.6 billion is too big, because it starts at 30 million, go to 1.6 billion. But what I'm going to show you there is just what you're asking now, Nicole, how to partner with existing companies, because this is what the grant is saying you can do. How to partner with existing companies to now qualify for the 30 million to 1.6 billion dollars. So it's not made up. It's not made up. There's, I'm gonna say it like this, and there are people that's making this kind of money. It's just not a lot of us because we don't think we qualify. Who told you that? You've never looked into it. So Brother Kevin is opening this up for you. That was my background. That was my field. I retired a private investigator for businesses and research, and we started digging into things. And then my wife got to going and finding more resources and all kinds of things. So we got all kinds of great things. And then you got the named institutes, you got the named foundations, you got so many family names you never heard of. You heard of Kellogg. He was back there with Ellen G. White, Dr. Kellogg. Well, there's a Kellogg Foundation. They also offer money for you doing all these things. And there's the Bill and Melinda Gates, as they call them, money gates or floodgates. But there's still money there that you can use. But even if you don't want to use their money, there's tons of other foundations. But I would take that money and use it for good. It's a grant. Help God's people and get going. Because grants you don't have to pay back, but you don't want to sell your soul to get anything. You want to make sure
Right.
you're compliant legally with what they have, so there's no sin. Everything is done above board and meet the criteria. They're simply asking you if you want to start a school and or a foundation, if you want to grow a farm, if you want to raise food, if you want to do this, if you want to do that, here's money to do that. So don't let nobody tell you everything is bad. If you got to sell your soul or do things like that, then you know to stay away from it.
Right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So God bless you all. I want to thank you all for coming in. We're not done yet. I want to pray, and then anybody got to stick around can stick around for a few minutes.
Hello,
So,
good night.
hello, good night.
Hi,
Hi,
my name is
Roxanne.
Roxanne. I live in Jamaica.
Hi, Roxanne in
I'm
Jamaica.
interested. Say again?
I said, hi, Roxanne in Jamaica.
Oh, hi. Say, for instance, I'm interested in doing vertical farming, right? In the country. I would like to do that. Would I be qualified for any of that?
Well, what we have to do is you have to do a prospectus or get me a piece of what all that consists of, and then we research grants that's available in Jamaica, and then we'll see if that fits in that scale. And the same thing I'm gonna ask you. What I'm gonna ask you now, I ask other people that's from Jamaica. Do you also have family in the States?
I have family in the States.
Then the answer to your question is yes. Because you can partner with families in the state and set up that same business here. Just doesn't have to be in your name, be in the family's name. You be part of the company that works that, and then your salary, you can go to Jamaica if the grant is not in Jamaica and set up that same thing.
Okay, I am very interested. So I would do a proposal, you said?
You put perspective. You want to do a prospectus. Yeah, you want to have a piece laid out on what that's all about. Then you want to match up with me. Call me, reach out to me, book me, whatever you need to do. And let's go over it. And then immediately I start to find you result from day one and see what we can do there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And I try not to leave nobody in the cold.
Info?
Yes, it'll be in the chat. My contact information will be in the chat, or go to therearepeople.org, look on the consultants, and look for Kevin Fuller, and you can book Kevin Fuller.
Kevin Fuller. Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem at all.
Blessings.
Blessing. Thank you so much. Blessings to you too. Our God is awesome. Our God is awesome. So there's a lot that you all can do. So please watch, Roxanne, you as well. Watch all the episodes that's out there now. I've done 4. They're all free. Actually, I've done 5 because we started with 0. 0 explains what was coming up. Then we did 1, 2, 3, and 4. All of those, Roxanne, have money in there. And they all talk about Jamaica, Trinidad Tobago, Canada, the UK, as well as America. And then I got what's called grant banks. Those are particular packs of particular grants that people qualify for and that meet the criteria. But there's hundreds of more where those come from. So there's a lot of resolve there. So go to our YouTube channel, watch those videos, please. The link is in the chat. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel as that started to grow. We want to help people and share this because it's free. Don't think. I heard a person tell me something and it kind of hurts me when I hear stuff like that. They had a friend that got a grant and they asked the friend to help them, and the person said, "Nope, I can't help you. I just can't help you." Yes, you could have. Share this because it doesn't cost you nothing to share this and help someone else. In fact, that's how you really get your reward and get your jewel, your gems in your crown. You want to be able to reach back and take care of people. Our God is asking us just to do that. We don't have a lot of time for these things, and let's just get busy helping people and we grow from there. Okay. Sister Kay, I see your hand.
Well, that's so true, brother, because I said to people, everyone wants to go in the country and we're struggling. And sometimes we hear of resources and, many of us are so selfish that they'd rather keep it to themselves. But I just like me, I share to Brother Patrick, and I know he's going to share with other people. That's who I am. I can't know things and keep it to myself because God forbid, I want them to be there too with me. It doesn't matter if they have a 4-story building and I have a one. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
It's a fact that we're trying to get each other together to get out of the city because it's gonna be sad if they said, "Well, Sister Karen, you would tell me." No, they should say, "Sister Karen, you always be talking about this." So guess what happened? It's on me now. So I love to share things that can help others, but some of us are so selfish that we're getting this thing free and we keep it for ourselves and our family. Sorry to say.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you, Kay. What if Christ was selfish? Christ would have came and he came down on earth and he saw all this and he says, "You know what? Never mind the cross." And he just left or just chose to live out on earth for a little while and just die of old age. What if he was selfish? We'd all be lost. We'd be gone already. So just think, as by beholding we become changed. Let's take on the character of Christ. What did Christ do? And literally he did things in order. So he came onto the scene, he was baptized, he received the Holy Spirit. Then he went to fast and pray, and build up his power. Then he came back after that 40 days, and then he started teaching and blessing people and working miracles. We need to be out there right now after we get ourselves right, get our baptism on, get our prayer and our fasting on, and come back on the scene and start blessing and showing people things and helping people out with grants and strategy and planting, just like you all talking today. And when we go home, we be righteous. You got to get by Christ. So being selfish, you can't even get close to Christ. That by him, that's who judges us. That's how we get in. So we have to be aware of these things. So let's be ready, everybody. Let's take care of each other, brothers and sisters. Okay. All right. God bless you. Thank you, my sister, for that, Kay. Let's see, Brother Lewis.
Yeah, good evening, guys. This is my first time on the call. I appreciate everything that was said and was taught today. We've been in the country for 22 years, me and my wife and our 2 youngest daughters. They are married and moved away now. But when we moved out, we moved out on faith. I mean, we just sold our house in LA. We moved out and we moved up to the small city called Squaw Valley, which is in the hills, foothills. And for us, it still is a challenge. But at one point, we were doing really, really good financial and everything until 2008. And then we got hit. And so we are still trying to recoup since then. So it's taking us longer now to get back to where we really need to. So, like, for me, I have to keep working. And it takes away from me trying to do stuff at the house. You know what I mean? We have 5.5 acres, but it's just you're not there to put the work in, to accomplish what you need to do. We do a garden every so often, but it's not the same like when I had the time to be there full time to do the work. You know what I mean? So it is. We are trying to come up with a solution for me not to be out as much, but it's just at this point it's just not feasible. So the listening about the grants, I think might be an option for me to be able to try and get one of those and try and see how I can make that work by being at home. You know what I mean?
Sir, so tying it into what you're doing now, you're driving, you're doing a delivery service and a pickup service, correct?
Yeah, I do passengers mostly.
Right. So tie it into that because I specifically saw a grant. What's today? This week I saw a grant just for what you're doing now. Transportation, taxi, that kind of grant. They didn't call it taxi. They called it mobilization, moving people around. There are grants available, but then don't think small. Don't think a 5-vehicle fleet. Think a statewide business, or you can think a national business. And then as you put that perspective together, people can see that because people need to go to the hospital. People need to go to dialysis. People need people to shop for them. There's a company called in the town we moved out of called You Buy, We Fly, and they're a taxi service. They do all those kinds of things. There is grant money available for that, and to get you a fleet of vehicles as well. It is available.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Thank
we
you.
will have to get in touch with you and see how we can work, what we can work out, and how you guys can assist us, and yeah, and just go from there.
No problem. Gotcha. I love it. God bless.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. No, you're welcome. I got you. Zoom user.
All
I
right.
see Zoom user. Hi, Zoom. Someone from Zoom. It says Zoom user.
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I heard my name called earlier, Varette.
Don't be calling my wife's name.
My bad. My bad. I'm sorry, D boy. My bad. Yes, because why you switch your name to Zoom user? Yes, we want to hear from you because we didn't get a chance to hear too much from you on the other day. So this is Thursday. We want to hear something. Let these people know who you are. Her husband, y'all, is professional carpenter, all kinds of things. But you know what? She put him in his place. Don't you deep it. Tell her what you do to your husband. Tell her.
Well,
Welcome.
thank you. So my husband, me, Vanessa, my husband Lee, Vanessa, and Tassine have come up with well, actually you inspired us for the three of us to get together, and that's what we've done. And we have a business name called GRC, which is God Restores Comfort. My husband and I were already involved with grief ministry. We used to work for the Southern Union, visiting different churches, helping them set up grief support ministries in their churches for themselves as well as for the community. Use it as an evangelistic outreach as well. So anyway, so our new company is going to be called GRC, God Restores Comfort, by connecting God's word plus the laws of health, plus practical coping skills. Our mission will be able to, will be to provide support, the type of support that God provided for us. And as stated in 1 Corinthians 1:4. 1 Corinthians 1:4, to give back to others the comfort that God has given us. So we were called to the area of grief ministry out of our own grief. So out of our grief, God called us to do this, and we're excited about joining with Tassine to make this a nationwide venture.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. And the first thing God put on my heart was when you said that, and she came back with a response that y'all have to get together. So it was a godsend and a blessing truly to see that you guys have united, formed a company, and got busy. So now the next part is going to be on me as we start to match you up now with the grants that specifically targets just what you're trying to do and make it national, as you said, because that way you go off on a bigger level. If you think small, that's where you are. If you think big, that's where you are. And I'd rather think big and fall somewhere in the middle than to think small and I can't reach any higher. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure.
So let's do that. Go ahead.
We're looking forward to connecting with you.
Sure. Not a problem. Not a problem. And don't forget the carrot cake. So yeah, we're good to go.
Well, all righty then.
Y'all heard me throw that in there, right? Y'all.
Yeah.
So God bless you. My brother, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
I'm doing great. That's what I'm talking about.
I've written down some things
Sure.
about I guess about a class type of scheduling. For
No, schedule.
individuals that
Schedule. You have to use the King's English.
schedule.
Schedule.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, we want to be as British as we possibly can, right?
Schedule.
Um, so that individuals can learn
Sure.
the skill of carpentry, but just so people can get excited about it, it'd be more than just carpentry. Carpentry, to me, since I had a construction business, is the basis, is like the foundation of most of your construction trades.
Sure.
Because if you don't have a stud up, you can't put in an electrical plug.
Sure.
You know, if you don't have a wooden foundation, you can't pour the concrete. So there's a lot that I wanna teach individuals so that they can go out. First of all, I want them to be able to know what they're talking about if they have a professional come over. Secondly, I'd like individuals to be able to go out and use the trade to make money.
Significant
So,
income.
yes, yes. So, what we are looking for is a grant for some land so that I can put up a shop in order to teach from that shop on Zoom.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, and also not just to teach from a shop, but also to be able to do some of my projects, you know, to show individuals how to build, literally, how to build a shed.
Your grant's going to be, so your grants, I know what you want. Let me just jump in there for a minute. So your grant's going to be, you want first of all, you want land, you want a facility there where you can actually teach this course online, but you want to teach this course in person as well. So it can literally be where you have enough land with the facility to put the facility up and to acquire all the equipment that you need to go ahead and do this, and then start hands-on at some point bringing actual students onto the location. That's going to be key because you can teach from that facility and
Right.
Zoom at the same time because you got hands-on shop and everything would be recorded. That makes it national from one
Yes.
location. So yeah, I'm with you on that. So we'll put together perspectives based off of that, and then plug all that in and get the qualifying grants down on paper.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And we might even use the property to grow some microgreens.
Or this is automatic. That's what people miss. Because you can have the property set so you can expand with different buildings and even a store and a warehouse where you can sell the product. But until then, you can grow some beans or
There you go.
greens. You
Well,
can't
hey, no,
grow.
I'll take both.
You can't grow cornbread, but you can make some.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. And we're supposed to get the corn soon. Also, I heard.
Absolutely. My wife asked me when we was mailing that corn out because it's right here in my vehicle. So what he's talking about is I was blessed one day. A guy on the job told me, he said, "There's a guy who's got corn from the 1800s, and he literally selling it online." And when I got there to meet the gentleman to get this corn, come to find out, they also had, I got a sack. You guys remember the old burlap sacks
Yes.
full of wheat. That wheat came over in the 16th century, the 1500s. That wheat came over on a ship for their family, and that corn they had since the 1800s, and it's open pollinated, and it grows over 18 feet tall. You get 4 ears off a stalk, all that kinds of things. And I bought the last 550 pounds the guy had. And we
Wow.
put that on our website, and it was so beautiful. The guy was crying because what happened is, his parents had land or his grandparents had land before the stock market crashed in the 1920, 21, whatever that was. And they had this way back then, and then his grandparents passed it to his parents. Then his dad died. Oh, so then the mom took over, but then him and his brother took over to run the business. His mom went into a nursing home without them doing a trust. And literally, the nursing home took their farm.
Oh.
Literally took their farm. And then when he put this corn up, they had already sold off all the equipment. When I got there, it was so sad. He says, "Can I at least keep a bowl?" And he had this old black salad bowl from McDonald's or from Subway. And I said, "Of course." And literally, I got that corn. The first person I gave some to was my supervisor at work, and he's 6'5". He's standing on his tippy toes trying to look at the top of the corn. Well, first picture he sent me, it grew so fast I couldn't believe it. And he stood on his tippy toes. He said, "Man, where did you get this Jack and the Beanstalk corn from?" So, so we'll get that to you, and we'll send that. Be happy to send that out. So make sure you reach out so we got that address, so we can mail that tomorrow. Or before sundown. If not, we won't send it out till Monday. So we'll get that to you. But it's awesome. And when you grow this, please, the 10% of that corn, or at least 5%, depends on how much you put in the ground, save it and let it dry out. And then you want it's corn. They did everything with. They did grain alcohol with that corn. Alcohol for healing, not for nipping. But they did animal feed. They did cornmeal for food. They used it for this was one corn you used for everything or everything.
Wow.
Yeah, this is an awesome corn. And a matter of fact, when they had the fire in Hawaii, someone ordered 2 pounds right off the bat, and we sent it to them. So yeah, we're down to like the last, I think, 70 pounds or something like that, because I kept my own personal stash.
Of course.
But, yeah, gotta do that. But yeah, it's awesome. It's good corn. So you won that. We got it coming. So God bless you for that.
So what do we have to do? Put our address in the.
Yeah, just read it. No, we'll call you. We got your information.
Okay.
We'll call you. We'll get that information to you. It was you and our brother Mike. Mike, that's getting that, because my wife was in that contest. The way they won that, guys, is we had a family day on Sunday. If you guys watched that video, and we had a game Cahoots that my 9-year-old led, and it was guessing Bible games, and you had to go online and do the codes and do all that, and they won that. So it's coming to you. Anybody else needs something, go right to our store online. I still got a few that you can order. It's in our store on therearepeople.org. Got just a little bit. Thank you, my brother and sister. Right. Patrick, you got a question? Then we're gonna pray. Excuse me, hold on a minute, Patrick. My bride's calling me. Yes, ma'am. Chris Briss, are you here? Chris was supposed to be here. We're supposed to hear about his book. Did Chris Briss leave, anybody? Chris, are you still here? Hold on, Patrick. I see your hand is up. I'm looking for Chris Briss because Chris got his book out and we wanted to talk about his book. So Chris, if you're in there, let me know. Okay, Patrick, you got a question or your hand was just stuck up?
No, man.
I am here.
Wait, I hear.
Allow him.
Okay, go ahead, Patrick, real quick. Then we got Chris Briss coming.
No, I was saying, because I do an outdoor ministry, and I was thinking about getting tracks to spread like autumn leaves. You would have a grant for that, right? Am I correct in saying that?
No, you're not correct in saying that. I don't have a grant for flyers, for tracks, but you can match up with me and we'll talk about the business of marketing and advertisement, which you can get a grant for, and then you'll be able to pass out tracks.
Okay, I'm going to put my number in the chat.
Yep, put your number. Just reach out to us and then we'll talk. Absolutely. Okay.
All right, cool.
Thank you, Chris Briss.
Yeah, Kevin, brother Kevin.
Right.
I am actually at an event. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
I was waiting. I went, but I can give you a quick rundown.
Yes.
Of the book. What made me write this book, as I listened to my brothers and sisters in the faith speak, it seems to be there's a fear continue to roam within the Adventist church. And we as Adventists should not be living in fear when God has given us a prophetic timeline. In other words, prophecy is give us the opportunity to see in the future. So the title of the book is called Prophetic Eye. Every major event in history has been prophesied and fulfilled through prophecy. So I just sat down and I put together Prophetic Eye, seeing the signs of the time, seeing the end through the signs of the time, sorry. So the book is called Prophetic Eye because to be an Adventist is to have a prophetic eye to see the end, the beginning from the end, because God said the Lord God does nothing unless he reveals it to his servants, the prophet. So I put that to encourage Adventists that we have the opportunity to see in tomorrow through the spirit of prophecy. And that's why I put the book Prophetic Eye together. It's on Amazon. It wasn't about money. The book is just $4.99, because I wanted people to see through the eyes of God and stop looking through our own lens to find out what the future holds. God has given us a prophetic eye to walk through the end of time with boldness. And that's pretty much what I could share.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. So everybody, check out that book. The book is on Amazon. Chris Brisk got his book out, y'all. Congratulations, my brother. Congratulations, congratulations. We do need to know. We don't need to be worried. God gave us, not only did he give us power, love, and a sound mind, he gave us direction. He gave us times. He gave us events. We are blessed. We just have to walk in that blessing. We just have to walk in that glory. He's warned us. I mean, who do we have to blame but ourselves? So we just thank God for that. Let's close with a prayer, and then we'll hang out if anybody got to hang out. Please bow. Heavenly Father, God in heaven, we just thank you for your goodness, your grace, your mercy. Lord, forgive us for our sins and our transgressions. God, bless everybody, God, that watches this Zoom, that's been here on this Zoom, God, that they be blessed and nourished, God, that God, now they have a better insight, God, to meet the needs, God, to do what you're calling them to do, to move to the country, God, to flee to the mountains. Babylon is fallen, is fallen. Thank you for this opportunity to share, God, that everyone here be blessed. We send these prayers up to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, in the most holy place of the heavenly sanctuary. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you guys for tuning in.